Feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Welcome into Timeline T. I am your host, D. Sandy, aka Sandy Jr. Oh, this is a special Timeline T. This is a 2023 NBA Draft Kickback. Thanks to those who are pulling up live right now and those in the replay later on. Salute. Oh man, there's a lot to get into. The first pick, we assume is anticlimactic with Big Vic going number 1 to the San Antonio Spurs. The draft really begins at the second overall pick, which is the Charlotte Hornets. Is it going to be Alabama wingman Brandon Miller? Or will it be who I feel is the second best player overall in this draft, Scoot Henderson? Man, Scoot Henderson, G League Ignite, point guard, hybrid guard, whatever you want to classify him. He's got a little bit of Russell Westbrook, a little bit of D-Rose, a little bit of Ja Morant. But the most important part to me, a whole lot of Rajon Rondo, Mark Jackson. And he's working out with Steph. Does that mean the 3 ball is on the way? We'll talk about it. Then you have the Amen. Well, no, we have the Thompson brothers. Amen gonna go number 4 to Houston. It's kind of been the worst kept secret. Is it a smoke screen? We'll talk about it. Who's gonna jump out on the limb and holla at your man's Grady Dick? Now, I could have said that way funnier, but it's a little early in the stream for that. But will Grady Dick go top 10? I actually think he should go top 10. But will someone actually do it? What about Cam? Cam Whitmore should be in that 4 to 6 range, but there's been a lot of mock drafts that have had him later in the lottery. What's up with that? Is that factual or just a smoke screen? Anyway, let's go ahead. Let me get the full order up. Let's jump right in. You see what it is, the 2023 NBA Draft. Thank you to those who are pulling up. I appreciate the like button being smashed on the way in. And this is where we stand as of right now. I'm just using this as a template. This is what we have, barring any trades. Y'all know I got the timeline refreshed and ready to go for any Woj bombs, Shams Charania bombs, or whoever else decides to jump out that window and be in the mix tonight. We're all over it. As you see right here, this is going to take a man's Woj as they came on the broadcast. I'll show you the time, 7:57 p.m. I'm told Scoot Henderson hasn't been able to unseat Brandon Miller. So again, if you were playing the odds, if you were riding the wave of Brandon Miller's value on that money line for him to go 2 to the Hornets, hopefully you took it right around when it dropped down to about 270, because it was at 600 this morning, dropped down to about 5 and change, and then it plummeted even lower to around that 270 range. And a few people I know in the group chat smashed that quick fast in a hurry. So hopefully you lock that in, because it seems, if you want to believe your man's Woj, the blue check boys, Adrian Wojnarowski, Brandon Miller seems to be the pick at number 2 for the Charlotte Hornets. Let me get my screen up. I don't even have my my app loaded up so I can actually watch along. Let me know what y'all are vibing out there. Do you think the Dame thing is going to happen? Because if Brandon Miller goes 2, then all eyes are on the Portland Trail Blazers at 3. Will Damian Lillard get moved tonight, or will the Blazers hold firm and take who we all think they're going to take at 3, which is Scoot Henderson? And if that's the case, then if Houston does what we all think they're going to do and take Amen Thompson of the Thompson twins at 4, then does the draft really begin at 5? And 5 is the Pistons, I believe, right? Yes, 5 is the Pistons. So does the draft really begin at 3, or does it begin at 5? Y'all let me know. Oh man, I'm really, this draft more so than others. I think the Vic thing, Victor Wembanyama being the number 1 overall pick, I think obviously has people jazzed up about the draft. But I also feel like this is one of the deeper drafts at the top for the very first time in a long time. Like the Zion, Ja, RJ Barrett one was people thought that was going to be a 2-person draft. You had some people that were trying to convince you it was going to be a 3-person draft. But I think this draft here has a way higher ceiling than even that draft, especially at the top. Victor Wembanyama is going to be better long-term than Zion and Ja. And this is before the off-the-court issues with both Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. I think Scoot Henderson, his ceiling is higher than that of Zion Williamson and Ja Morant. And then based off what we saw in just 1 year at Alabama from Brandon Miller, the skill set alone, he thinks Paul George is his GOAT. Now, we can laugh at that as we should, but really when it comes right down to it, he's got a lot of PG in him. And that still translates very well at this level. So how good can Brandon Miller be? I think his ceiling is probably higher than Ja Morant's. I'm not sure if it's higher than Zion. Zion's ceiling back then, what was that, 2019? Like it was insane the way that people were projecting him. So I don't know if Brandon Miller has that type of ceiling, but I think ultimately he exceeds the career of a Zion right now. Because Zion can't stay healthy. He can't keep his body right. It's just a lot of things that have gone wrong. And this is before we get into the way that he's tricking off the court. It's just not a lot of good things happening his way for young Zion Williamson. Okay, we have the stream loaded up. Let me just refresh, make sure we're good. All right, man, there's a lot going on here. Oh, the apps are being pounded tonight. Pause. Did anyone see the interview with Friday Smith and Big Vic? No one should stand side by side next to Victor Wembanyama. You just look emasculated when you do so. It just doesn't make sense. You can't do it. Absolutely can't do it. I remember when I was at a draft media day event for the Porzingis draft. I forgot who was number 1 that year. The Porzingis draft. And was that Okafor? Was that year? I forget. So up until that point, in terms of just sheer vertical height, Chris Bosh seemed to be the most tallest person. Like, even though he was viewed as not even a footer, he was like, what, 6'10", 6'11" at the most. But just being able to talk to him in person and ask him some questions, he just looked taller. Like, he looked like the tallest person I've ever seen in my life. Then I got to see Latvian world star Kristaps Porzingis the night before the draft and got a chance to be a part of his media availability. That mofo, 7'3", and looked every inch of it, pause, and just trying to figure out how do they make that much linen and how do they make that much linen that skinny? Because, Latvian world star, and he hasn't put on that much muscle since then. But Latvian world star, it just looked like it was just never ending. Like the motherfucker was just going straight up into the sky. It's very interesting how that went. And there's a lot of commercials already. This is where the NFL draft is superior. Only in the sense of the TV presentation sometimes. It's just like it's a lot of commercials and they have their blue check boys. But let's go ahead and just cruise the timeline in the meantime. Since we know, kind of got a vibe of what everything is going to be. Let's see if Woj is tweeting out anything else. Final mock draft. Let's see if they have anything different. Oh, this is going to be locked. They're going to put this behind the paywall. Yeah, they give you Big Vic first. Like that's some big, okay, whatever. All right, we'll go back on that. Let's see where we at here. NBA Central. Let's see. Are they breaking anything? I have not seen a gag order pause on people not leaking picks tonight. Although the first pick doesn't really have to be, leaked. Kind of know what it is. Okay, nothing there. Trade Dame. Damn, boy. They out here. Damn, boy. They want you to run away from the grind, Dame. They want you to run away from the grind. That's sad. That's very, very sad for Dame, bro. They want Dame up out of there so bad. I'm really trying to navigate how can... We've heard so many different varying reports about what Dame wants and what he doesn't want. We've heard reports of, oh, he's been in contact with Scoot and him and Scoot are cool. That's supposed to insinuate that maybe he would want to play with Scoot. Then we heard reports of, well, Dame's not there for the youth movement. Okay, well, then that means if they keep the pick and they take Scoot, then Dame doesn't want to play with Scoot. Then we've heard, oh, well, if they keep the pick, then Dame definitely wants to be traded to a contender into where he has a team with friends on it, like the Heat with Bam Adebayo, like the Nets with Mikal Bridges. But again, if you're Portland, you have a chance to keep Dame, who is still, I've been debating whether he's top 5, top 10. I would say it's probably safer to say he's still top 10, but hanging on in that back half of the top 10. Then you have Scoot, who could be your Dame in waiting, albeit an actual point guard and not a guard that's just masquerading as a point guard. You can still keep Anthony Simons. You can still keep Shaedon Sharpe. Ride it out and then flip Dame at the trade deadline. Or you could trade Dame, like this jersey says, trade Dame right now, get some young assets or some ready-made, top-tier vets that are ready to hoop, to go along with that plethora of youngins you got out there in the PDX and Rip City. I'm not sure why this drama is still unfolding. We should probably have Chris Haynes up. Let's go ahead and get the usual suspects up here. All right, so we got NBA Central. Let's go ahead and get Chris Haynes. He's going to be on the timeline heavy. All right. Where is it? Let's go get up. Oh, nope, don't want to do that. All right. Let's go get your man's Woj. Well, that's not what we wanted to do, but okay. All right. Okay. And then this will be the Woj one. Then we got to get a Shams one. Shams. All right, so we got the 3 dudes that we would feel are going to be the most active tonight. Again, this is the order as of right now. All right, so what do we have so far? Miller, according to what Shams and them are doing over there on Stadium, Charlotte is selecting Brandon Miller at number 2. Okay, so nothing new breaking there, but kind of confirming. So we're going to obviously have Victor Wembanyama at number 1. And now, following the report we got from Woj when we first came on, it's looking like your man's Brandon Miller from Alabama will be the pick at 2 for the Charlotte Hornets. So now we finally get Portland on the clock. What are we going to get? Okay, we're going to keep everybody locked up, keep the windows refreshed. Woj apparently is not leaking nothing. But if anything happens with Dame, you would assume Chris Haynes is going to have it. So far, right now, he's laying low. He's got some nonsense here about Pascal Siakam. But again, who cares about Pascal Siakam? All right, so see like Shams is the only one that's really working it. Jeff Goodman is over there doing their broadcast. All right, let's see. We can move on from that. Okay, so the draft is going according to plan. My stream is way behind, so let me see if we can fix that. Abiel's in the building. What's good? Hornets about to blow it. You think passing on Scoot and taking Brandon Miller? I mean, Brandon Miller's the safer pick. Brandon Miller's the safer pick. I'm not anti it. It's just I would have loved to see LaMelo and Scoot to see what type of creativity, what type of offense you could have. And I think that would have been the part would have been more dynamic. Like that's the type of shit. If you're trying to make headway, especially in a loaded, well, not even. If you're trying to be serious in the East, with a talent like LaMelo, there's many ways you could go with that. There's a lot of ways you could go with having a dynamic talent like LaMelo, a guy that could be a 6'7" point guard who can shoot the three ball and is extremely pass first. You have Scoot that you could have had there, and the two of them in the backcourt, you're talking about some Magic Johnson, Norm Nixon shit. You're talking about some Clyde Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe type shit. Like, there's been backcourts of where you've had 2 point guards and they have won championships. There's also been teams where there's been teams with no point guard and they've won championships. But just having a dynamic playmaker in the tuck with LaMelo, being able to tag team that pause with a Scoot, I would just love to see that for 70 games and see how that goes. All right, the Stream East is kind of bugging right now. Yeah, they took Brandon Miller. So Portland's on the clock. We're trying to see what's good with Portland. We're going to refresh the Shams. We'll see what they're going to do. We will piggyback off of Stadium for right now. Streams is laggy today, boy. Unfortunately, I think Portland will get roasted either way. And I think that's the problem with it, right? Like, Portland will get roasted if they trade the 3 players, Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons, and the rights to what we believe is going to be Scoot. But I think ultimately they'll get killed that way, and then they'll get killed if they trade Dame and don't get a sufficient enough return for Dame. So it's the weird spot where even if they sit there and take Scoot, they could be deemed a loser. Yeah, there's a lot of information about trades. There's been trades all day. The group chat is kind of litty right now. It's kind of hard to navigate that too in this stream. Okay, so according to this, the Blazers are going to select Scoot. The Blazers are holding firm and taking Scoot. Does that mean Dame is gone? Where are we at now? Shams is tweeting. Let's see if we can refresh. There it is. Portland is selecting Scoot Henderson at 3. What does this mean for Dame? Let's go to Chris Haynes. He's supposed to be the Dame whisperer or the mouthpiece for Dame, however you want to classify it. Is he gonna give the instant analysis that Dame wants to be out? Now, that was reported yesterday, and I talked about it earlier on today's Timeline T, that as of yesterday, allegedly, Dame officially requested a trade. Now, we don't know if that's real or not, but that's what sources of someone who's kind of on the fringe of the industry put out there, that Dame officially requested a trade yesterday. So now that the Blazers have held firm and stood pat and selected Scoot Henderson at 3, what does this mean for Dame? Abdiel saying Toronto, I'm feeling the PDX Toronto trade. That would be nasty work. If that's Siakam, that's nasty work. You're going to trade Scoot to the north, to the 6 for some Siakam? It better be Siakam and OG. And there was some news about Siakam's not going to re-up with whoever trades for him. So you're going to do a 1-year rental. You're going to give up Scoot and Anthony Simons for a 1-year rental. That's nasty, nasty work. All right, we're going to get off that. They're going to be showing ads. Don't want to see that. Don't want no smoke. All right, so let's see. Your man's Woj got anything? All along, the entire Charlotte Hornets organization has been all in on Brandon Miller. Sure. Even though you were reporting that Scoot was in the mix. All right, man. Ownership, front office, scouts, coaches, they see him as a perennial future all-star player. They're not wrong, but he ain't Scoot. I'll tell you that much. He ain't Scoot. Let's see. Where's that tweet? Man's deleting tweets already. He had a tweet about Scoot moving up. Man's deleting tweets. We'll let that rock for right now. Anywho, Chris Haynes, he's quiet. He's supposed to be the Dame guy. What's good? Supposed to be the Dame guy. Asleep at the wheel. What's good, Chris Haynes? Your man's Dame left you on red. They still in break? Okay, yep, they still in break. All right. So now we're assuming the fourth pick. The fourth pick, everything has gone chalk so far. Okay. Big Vic, number 1. Brandon Miller, number 2. Scoot, number 3. The fourth pick, Houston, it's been long rumored that of the Thompson twins, they favor Amen or Amen. I heard it pronounced Amen today instead of Amen, so we'll roll with Amen. And Osor to number 5, but I've also seen Osor slide down to about the 7-8 range. So that will be interesting to see where Amen's brother, Osor, goes. Now, if you want to believe the scouts, they think Amen is the more athletic of the twins. But some people feel Osor has the better fundamental game. Again, all of this shit is pure speculation. Everyone thinks they know something. I know for me, I liked Amen's game. I liked what I saw better, especially I think it's easier to translate at this level as opposed to Osor. I think Osor, it depends on the fit, and I do not see Detroit being the best fit for him. Whereas Amen, if he comes in there and it looks like the beard might not spin the block to Houston, he's a guy that can slide right in there into the backcourt and start game 1. Whereas Osor, they got Cade Cunningham. It's a lot of bodies there in Detroit. I don't know if all those bodies know where they need to go. Obviously, Monty Williams, he's getting paid a hell of a lot of money to figure out that Pistons thing. I'm not sure where Osor goes. I'm not sure if he's the fit there with Detroit. But Cam's a guy to keep your eye on. Cam is a guy that I really like his game. He's definitely not a sleeper. He's going to be a top 10 pick, or at least he should be. But Cam is a guy that ultimately, I think, if somebody were to fail in this top 5, Cam's going to be one of those guys like 4 or 5 years from now in a redraft, he'll probably be redrafted in the top 5, in my opinion. So we'll see. Where are we at here? And there we go. Rockets select Amen Thompson. So this draft is a lot of chalk. It's a lot of chalk so far in this draft. All right. We're going to do any trades here. Well, what's good? Everything seems to be real chalk. Woj is not tweeting. Your man's Chris Haynes. Is he? Okay. The only thing he's breaking is Amen to the Rockets. You're supposed to be the Dame Whisperer. What's good, bruh? You're supposed to be the Dame Lillard Whisperer. You've been the mouthpiece for Dame for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. What's good? That Miami shit was a smokescreen. That Brooklyn shit was a smokescreen. That I'm not here for the youth movement thing was a smokescreen. What's really good, Chris Haynes? All right, let's see. Let's get some other people in the mix. Zach Lowe, he's not a reporter per se, but He's tapped in. Not tonight. Damn, everyone's laying low. What's really good? Is this draft going to be mid in terms of excitement? Are we about to get gassed on this draft? Brandon Miller is a Paul George clone. I hope for Charlotte that it's more Indiana Paul George, more so than Clipper Paul George. Big Vig is official. Let's see. We're just going to get a whole bunch of the usual suspects, the usual aggregators, and get them out here. There you go. All the, oh yeah, let me charge this up. Give me a sec. Big things. All right. All right. Let's see. Where is it? So if we have now the Pistons are on the clock because the Rockets have taken Amen Thompson, the more athletic of the Thompson twins. I'm not sure how I feel about this being chalk so far. It's very anticlimactic. And again, this is why this draft, I was speaking with my guy Greg Larner from ESPN Radio out there in Tennessee on, what was that? Tuesday? No, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And, you know, he was asking me if there's a lot of star power in this draft. And I said, well, not really. Like there's Victor Wembanyama. If you're looking for a star, I think you wanted to be in the top 3, right? That doesn't mean that one, if not both of the Thompson twins could be a star. That doesn't mean Cam Whitmore can't be a star. But the likelihood of being a star or a superstar, you had to be in the top 3. As far as everybody else, it's kind of a crapshoot. There's a lot of good players, solid players. But guys that are going to like stand up and like surprise you and shock you, I don't see a lot of that in this draft. I see a lot of good players, role players, guys that could be contributors, third options, fourth options, bench guys. I see a lot of that in this draft. But in terms of superstars, number one options, transcendent players, I think you had to be in the top 3. Had to be in the top 3 to give yourself a chance at that. Amen could be a really good player if you allow him to cook at point guard. That could be exciting. He's got a lot of flash in his game. I already spoke about the athleticism. It's a lot there with him. Let's see what we got here. Pistons have not chosen yet. We'll stick with this Shams feed for as long as it allows us to. I think the fact that they still got Cam here in the mix here for 5, Cam will be a sneaky good spot for them. But, you know, we'll see. Nothing yet, so we'll move on from that. I mean, if Portland's not going to do any trades, then this is kind of anticlimactic, right? Like, am I bugging? The big, and again, it can still happen, right? Because again, Portland has another pick. They have the 23rd overall pick from Knicks tape in that Cam Reddish deal. Salute to Cam. So they have another pick. So it could be a possibility where they're going to put Scoot with maybe whoever they take at 23 and move that. But it just seems like that's a long way to wait just to figure that out, in my opinion. Derpy in the stream. What's good, Derpy? Derpy always pulls up for the special events. Cavs may trade up to 10, though. Hey, I'm here for something. Give me anything. Like, I think if they do that, if they trade up to 10, that means they're moving Jared Allen, right? Because if that means they're trying to move to 10, that means Dallas. And Dallas is in line to take Derek Lively the second. And I actually think this is a sneaky good pick. I think you can make a case for Grady Dick here if he's still available. But Derek Lively, I think, is a good prospect although he's probably as skinny as Jared Allen, but I think he's got better offensive game potential than Jared Allen. So if the Cavs do want to move up to 10 and they want to flip your man's Jared Allen to Dallas to get there, I'm not mad at that if this is the play. Scrub Zero in the house. Yep, Blazers did take Scoot. Scoot is a Portland Trailblazer. For how long, we do not know. We do not know how long he's going to be a Blazer, but Portland, everything's been chalk. So everything we've been talking about, obviously Victor Wembanyama is a Spur. Brandon Miller is a Charlotte Hornet. Scoot is a Blazer. Amen Thompson is a Rocket. And now we're waiting on the Pistons at 5. Let's check in with Shams. Pistons are still on the clock, according to Shams. Shams Sharani over there at Stadium. Salute to them. Surprised that it's taking the Pistons this long. Are they trying to get someone to trade up for this pick? I mean, the Pistons do need a lot of help, so it wouldn't shock me if they try to trade down. But then who's trying to trade up? And if you're trying to trade up, who are you trying to trade up for? Is someone trying to move up to 5 to get Osor Thompson? Let's see. Let me just refresh just in case. Yep. No, Pistons still have not selected. All right. Interesting. So we're pretty much standing pat. Derpy, I don't know. All I know is teams have been calling for Jared Allen. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. And I think they've been trying to field calls on that, as they should. I think around this time of the year, and especially on draft night, there's a lot of people just calling just to call, just to check the temperature. Mavs and Raptors. Yeah, I can see Toronto's definitely. Here's the thing. Masai Ujiri just tries to steal from everybody. Just because he stole Kawhi, he thinks that means he could steal from everybody. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that, Masai. Derpy, we want Tim Hardaway in it, though. Are you a Mavs guy, Derpy? Remind me. I think we spoke about that before, but I do not remember. So let me know. Or are you a Cleveland guy? Why are the Pistons taking so long here? What is going on? Do you want Osor Thompson or nah? Woj got nothing. The mouthpiece to Damian Lillard. Chris Haynes, does he have anything? Nope. Derpy's a Cavs guy. Okay. All right, cool. Cavs. All right. Yeah, so I mean, I think if you're looking at trying to trade up to 10, I think the pick is lively here. Or Grady Dick. Don't sleep. Like, obviously the last name is hella problematic, but he can hoop. He can hoop. So if he's there at 10 and Lively is gone, I would not be mad if Grady Dick is the pick there. And Hardaway is probably what the Cavs want in that deal if they get rid of Allen. So then if you take then Lively has to be the pick then, because then there's no reason to take Grady Dick. And I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I think Grady is low key a sleeper. There's a few guys that I think could be a sleeper. They're more so in the second round. Ben Shepherd is a guy to keep an eye on in this second round. He's been buzzing in the group chats the last week or so. It's like a hive low key. Ben Shepherd is a guy to keep an eye on. He will not be a first round pick, but in terms of a guy that can flash, Andre Jackson as well. Andre Jackson Jr. He's another guy that can flash. So there's some second rounders that could go here that can make a big splash. But we'll see. Let's see what's good with Detroit, man. Okay, they took all that time and they still took Osor Thompson. So the Thompson brothers go back. The Thompson twins go back to back. Amen Thompson, Osor Thompson. Pretty good cities to start your career off. Low key. Detroit and H-Town? Could certainly do worse. All right. So the draft has been the chalkest of chalk so far. We're going to see what happens. So Amen Thompson goes to Houston. His twin brother Asur goes to Detroit. Now we're getting into what does Orlando do? Orlando has a lot of guards. Will they go with the wing and Ken Whitmore? Do they go big? I don't know if I would go Walker here. A lot of people like Walker, but he's like an undersized big to me. I don't know if I take an undersized big at the 6th pick or even a top 10 pick. A lot of people like him, though. Jarris Walker, a lot of people like him. He is supposed to be, according to, this ranking, he's the top ranked power forward. I don't know if that's saying that much. That position is not really that deep in this draft. Although low key, I kind of like Noah Clowney. He hooped with Brandon Miller. And obviously Brandon Miller got all the shine, deservedly so. But I think Noah Clowney could be a sleeper low key. He's ranked 57th. You talking about Ben Shepherd? Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about someone reaching and taking him in the first round. I'm just saying in terms of guys that can flash, that will be taken in the second round, who, 3-4 years from now, we might like, yo, man, that dude was a steal of steals. Not Jokic being the 41st overall pick and becoming a 2-time MVP type flash, but yo, this dude is a starter and he's like a third option, or Ben Shepherd because of his shooting ability. He got some good side. I'm just saying, Ben Shepherd's he's just a name to watch. I like to pick a couple guys that are not your lottery pick, easy type picks, and just say, hey, I like this kid's game, and Ben Shepherd is one of those. He's developing a hive online. It's kind of funny to see dudes' names start popping up online, and you're like, yeah, we kind of been on him. Pause. For a few weeks now. Dre, what do you think about the Scoot to Blazers trade? Well, Scoot got drafted by them. Let's see, unless you're breaking news here. I haven't checked in with Shams in a minute. Let's see. Okay, they're in break. Orlando is selecting Anthony Black at 6. Okay. So the Thompson twins go back to back. We get our first break in the chalk. Anthony Black, 6'7". I'll bump him up. 6'7". He's a wing player, Arkansas. He goes 6 to Orlando. Thank you, Derby. Derby got it here as well. Dre, unless you know something we don't, there's no trade yet. It's just Scoot got drafted. What do I think of it? It's the obvious move. The Blazers should have taken Scoot. I think now the key is Damian Lillard, get down or lay down. Either get down with the program of we got all these top tier youngins and we're trying to move forward and have these youngins extend your prime, extend the back half of your prime, or if you really want to go out there and ring chase, say less and we'll get you up out of here. But right now, we got Scoot, we got Anthony Simons, we got Shaedon Sharpe. We could potentially go throw a bag at Jeremy Grant to bring him back. We still got Nurkic. We got Cam Reddish marinating there on the bench, Narzil Little. Like, we got some bodies here in Rip City. So if you're one of those top 5 players like you think you are, we've given you the assets to be able to go right now. Is it a Paul George? No. But who says that would make you any better? Is it a Zion Williamson? No. But who says that would get you any closer to a Larry O.B. than running with these youngins? That's not guaranteed. We're giving you top tier talent. You have Shaedon Sharpe, the 7th overall pick last year. You got Scoot Henderson, the 3rd overall pick this year. You got Anthony Simons, who was so good that we were able to move off of CJ McCollum, and he slid in there and gave you damn near CJ McCollum numbers. We got you, Jeremy Grant, a dynamic wing slash, hybrid 4. We still got Nurkic. We got Cam Reddish. We fleeced him from the Knicks, as well as collecting a first rounder to boot. What else do you want, bro? What else? If you are really Himothy, then go out here and cook with these youngins. You said you don't want to run from the grind. Then stop trying to run from these youngins. You trying to run from Scoot? You trying to run from Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp? If you're really about that grind life, then stop trying to run away from these youngins. Yeah, I think the Blazers should hang on to Scoot. I think low-key they should trade Dame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would trade Dame. I really would. Like, I think they should really press the reset button in completion. But, it's not up to me. Derpy tapping in. What's about Anthony Black? He's solid. Yeah, no, Black can go. Anthony Black, he's certainly deserving of a top 10 pick. I mean, 6, as you see it here, 19 years old, 6'7", 198 pounds, all SEC freshman team. So, I mean, I don't view him as a real point guard. Maybe he develops into one. I think he's one of those shooting guards that's masquerading as a point guard. Like, just because you're asked to initiate the offense doesn't make you a point guard. I think that's been the biggest miscarriage of justice in basketball analysis over the last few years. It's like, well, Steph Curry's a point guard. I'm like, no, he's not. Steph aims to shoot first. That's not what a point guard does. Now, if you're going to tell me, oh, he's a combo guard, if you want to jazz it up, then fine. But if you're telling me man's is a point guard, I'm like, no, he's not. Damian Lillard, he's not a point guard. He aims to shoot first. Like, I don't understand. Call them what they are. They're undersized shooting guards. They're scoring guards. Whatever you want to call them, just do not call them point guards. Dre, I don't know. Dame might need to go to Miami. For what? Indiana is selecting. Ooh, Bilal is off the board. That's he was in the G League. Okay. Bilal is off the board to the Pacers at 7. Okay. He played with Big Vic, and Big Vic was hyping him up in his media availability. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, but Big Vic was hyping him up in his media availability. He said he thinks this guy could be special at this level. Now, again, that's his mans in them, both from France. So, and he's going to be traded to Washington. Interesting. Okay, so Indiana is selecting Big Wemby's guy, Bilal, and he's going to send him to Washington. All right, so now there's some movement there. Interesting. So we're now starting to get to where the draft can get funky. The first top 5 picks were all chalk. Now we're getting to where things get a little funky in regards to where we stand with these picks. Let's get a little quick refresh. Okay, so we got that going on. Another G Leaguer off the board. A lot of G League at the top of this draft, and I think if you're the NBA, man, you got to be thankful that LeVar Ball league didn't pop off. You got to be so grateful because LeVar Ball was on the verge of really carving out that lane and making the league potentially bow down, kind of like Live Golf and PGA. LeVar was close. If he could have just stopped tricking off and stealing people money for them sneakers, he probably could have got that off. But the G League has done exactly what it's supposed to do. We've had nothing but, we've only had, 6, 7 picks? We've had All but two have been G leaguers. That's an amazing run right there. An amazing run. So Bilal is probably going to be able to go in there to Washington and get a bunch of shots up. Who's going to tell him no? Who's going to tell him no? Untamed in the house was good, man. Appreciate you contributing so much earlier, man. Really do appreciate that. Dame probably gone. We'll see, but we're still waiting on Chris Haynes, his mouthpiece. We're still waiting on Chris Haynes. Chris Haynes, mighty quiet, bro. He's been giving us all the Dame tea, but now that Dame has been selected, now that Scoot has been selected by Dame's team, mum's the word. Derpy, the Raptors have OG though, and Siakam. Raptors could be an option. Option for who? We talking about Dame? Koulibaly? Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. All right. If that's what we're saying, Koulibaly. Oh, okay, word. Bilal Koulibaly. Thank you, Untamed. Appreciate that. So Bilal Koulibaly at 7 goes to Washington. Big Vic Wemby was hyping him up during his media availability the last couple of days, you know, hyping up his mans to make sure his mans is taken care of. And yeah, he goes 7 to the Pacers, and he's going to be flipped to Washington. And we see we're getting the live stuff with Shams here in real time. Indiana is selecting Jarris Walker at 8 via Wizards in this 7-for-8 flip. Washington also sends 2 second-round picks to Pacers to move up for, let me get the pronunciation again, Koulibaly. So Jarris Walker goes to Indiana. So they basically did a swap. I don't understand. Well, I guess if you could collect a couple of second rounders, you do the little flip, but that's just weird to me. So Jarris Walker does go in the top 10. He goes 8, undersized big. I'm not the biggest fan. A lot of people like his toughness on the inside. He certainly, you know, a lot of people, well, let me not say a lot. I was told by a few people that he gives them Draymond, the habitual nut hitter Green vibes. I don't know if I'm rolling with that, but we shall see. Okay. Maybe he's going to Indiana, assuming they still have Miles Turner and Matt Byrne. Like, I don't know. I don't know how much run he'll get. Because Mavs and the Raptors are being rumored for Allen. Oh, okay. So you're saying, okay, yeah, I don't know about that Tim Hardaway piece. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the Raptors are involved in that deal for 10, I don't know why they would want Tim Hardaway. Yeah, I guess if you're gonna do the 7-for-8 swap, I guess you just got to do it. Just because you're going to collect a couple of second-round picks for nothing, essentially. All right, so they're going to break, so we'll get off that. Let them do what they do. All right, so we're getting some low-level trades, no blockbusters yet. Okay, now Woj is tweeting. Okay, it took him, half an hour, but now he's starting to tweet. Now he's doing his thing with choosing his words and all that cute shit he tries to get off. Yeah, I think either move could work, Derpy. It really just depends. I think Toronto is, again, Masai Ujiri is really trying to. He's overselling his hand because let's be clear. Siakam is a good player, but he's not nowhere what he looked like when he played next to Kawhi. And even that next year after Kawhi left. So, and he's on the last year of a deal, so he could walk away. So you really shouldn't be giving up too much for an expiring contract. Now, Porzingis to Boston was different. In Boston, what all they had to do was give up Marcus Smart, and they collected 2 first-round picks anyway. So it really just depends on if you find a sucker. I think the Grizzlies got. I was gonna say a word I probably shouldn't say. The Grizzlies got stole on. I'll say that. Well, Abdiel, if you could go get 2 second-round picks for nothing, then you still make that trade. If you could collect 2 second-round picks and you're still going to get the guy that you want, then you just do it, right? I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize it. I'm not saying I co-sign. I'm just saying that's their logic. We're collecting 2 second-round picks for next to nothing in their eyes. Untamed, those second rounders might be something in the future. Yeah, we just seen, a whole bunch of second rounders get moved to get Bradley Beal to Phoenix. We just seen the Warriors pay out the ass for 5 second round picks to get rid of James Wiseman or to collect that for the former second overall pick in James Wiseman, like second round picks. Or you can take Nikola Jokic with the 41st. Nah, that's probably not gonna happen again, but Derby, I'd rather OG than Siakam. Yeah, but I'm not even that high on OG to keep it a buck with you. Like, I get it. He's younger. His contract isn't as crazy. He's got more years left, I believe. But to be honest, I'm not sold on either one of them too crazy. In today's NBA, like, neither one can really shoot. Siakam's defense is still good. It's not great how it was when he was with Kawhi. OG was kind of always seemed like, he just needs the minutes and then he'll go. He's gotten the minutes the last couple of years and he hasn't really gone. So if you want to blame that on Nick Nurse, all right, I guess, but I'm not that sold on OG either. He's been given the opportunity to cook and he hasn't really cooked, in my opinion. Had to stir up my tea, so I didn't want to annoy y'all with that clanging sound. But yeah, let's see. Well, what else y'all got? I'll tell you, Sam, what you think my C's need? A PG and flip Peyton, or power forward because Grant might go. Okay, you definitely need a point guard, right? Unless you want to give Peyton Pritchard a chance, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm just saying, like, if you're not going to go there, I think the way things are breaking now, where are the Celtics? Where are they picking? They're in the bottom of the round? Oh, bottom of the round. All right. Yeah, I think you definitely, despite what we talked about earlier on today's earlier timeline T, like, if I'm building a team as a guy that used to, like, play point, I want to see a point guard. I think you need a point guard. However, if Jason Tatum's going to continue this cosplay Kobe act, then I think you could get away with not having a real point guard. But that means Tatum has to really be Kobe and not just dressing like him and shooting like him, actually be Kobe. And I think that's the problem. He keeps thinking, well, if I dress like Kobe, I'll be Kobe. No. Not wearing the 24 on the elbow, not, dressing up like him or wearing the retro kicks. That shit don't make you Kobe. It's going out there and being an assassin every single night. That's being Kobe. Just being nice with the handles and being able to cook up for a 50-piece, in Game 7, that's cool shit. But Kobe would have never put his team in that position in the first place. So that's where you don't need a point guard if Tatum really does turn into Kobe. But if he's just going to if he has apexed already, then yeah, you need a point guard. And I would prioritize that over power forward. You have your power forward. You got Porzingis. Now, it's for 1 year. But I think if your window was extended, in my opinion, with this trade for Porzingis. So I think the championship window, you now have a real chance this year this upcoming year, right? Now, after that, yes, you need a power forward. Assuming you can get Time Lord to ever be fully healthy, which we know is dicey. So you have your 5. You have Tatum. We're assuming you're going to keep Jaylen Brown and give him $295 million on the Supermax. If Porzingis walks away, that's $30 million you got to give somebody to pull up. But as you know, Untamed, it's going to be hard to get anybody worth a damn to pull up to Boston. You know that. You know that. So you're going to have to trade for a dude or draft a dude to get them to come to Boston. So that's why I think it's going to be easier to get a point guard. It's just, I don't know if you're going to find that at the bottom of the draft here. I don't know if you're going to find that at the 25th pick. I'm just not sure. But I think point guard would be the priority. Like, I'm not the biggest like Van Vliet guy, but I wouldn't be mad at that. Now I wouldn't max him out. You might have to. I wouldn't want to max him out, but I think Van Vliet could be a guy. Now, is he a true point? No. But he's way more of a point than Marcus Smart ever was. And with Malcolm Brogdon's injury history continuing to follow him now in Boston, I don't know if that's someone you could lean on. Utah is selecting Taylor Hendricks. I believe that is back to chalk. Yep, Taylor Hendricks. All right. We're getting to that 10 spot. What's Dallas going to do? They're going to trade this pick? Are we going to get some action at the 10 spot? Dallas is on the clock. What are we going to get? Thank you, Derpy. Utah, Taylor Hendricks. Derpy, we need a legit 3 and wing guy. Okoro was supposed to be that, but he obviously hasn't been there. Well, isn't the issue with Okoro that he just can't shoot? He plays defense. I think it's just his shooting, right? Like, I'm not saying you could just teach shooting and that could change overnight, but isn't the main like knock on Okoro is just his shooting? He's a great defender. He's got good size for that 3-and-D position. He's just got no 3. He's got the D, pause, but he's got no 3. So I think ultimately, if you can find a way to just improve his shooting, like what was his? Let's look up his 3-ball. I should have had Basketball Reference up. That's my fault. Isaac Okoro. What did he shoot from 3? I mean, 36%, but he probably didn't take a lot of threes, right? Yeah, he only takes 2 threes a game. So he clearly doesn't feel confident. He's not getting a lot of shots. I think they just need to start. Like, if you get LeVert up out of there, like, isn't LeVert a free agent? So assuming you let LeVert walk, you give Okoro those minutes. I mean, if he can continue to shoot 36% and take about 4 or 5 threes a game, I think you take that, right? At 36%, that's league average. I could be tripping, but I don't know. To me, I think you do that. I think you'd be happy with that. All right, so the Mavs are still on the clock. This could be a trade position. This is a trade position. Untamed. I'm leaning towards a PG2 because I don't believe Tay can replicate Kobe. I know. I feel you, and that's kind of my thing with it. Like, if he ain't gonna be that, then yeah, you need the point guard. Okay, so you're giving Jaylen Brown the Supermax. All right. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have no choice at this point. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, Derpy. I feel you. Like, yeah, I mean, I think Okoro, if he could get the shot fixed, I think he's something that can go. Dallas has traded. All right. We're all seeing at the same time. Oklahoma City is acquiring Carson Wallace from Dallas at number 10. Carson Wallace. So OKC is trading up, and they're taking the 6'3" freshman from Kentucky, Carson Wallace, at the 10 spot. So Dallas moves back to 12. Okay. Carson Wallace. I think I watched him play Tennessee. I didn't see nothing that flashed. Let me see. What game was that? I like that they have the game log built in here. Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, it seemed like he didn't do anything in that game that I saw him. Yeah, because I was like, because I was watching Tennessee, because I go on Tennessee a lot. Tennessee sport, ESPN radio a lot. So he looked like he flashed 16 points here. Couple of 20 pieces. Okay. He can score. He's not the best shooter from three. Yeah, he's not the best shooter from three. But he gets to the rim. Okay. All right. At some point, he's just like, all right, bro. We are keeping up with everything going on. Dallas is trading Davis Bertans and Carson Wallace. Okay, so it's 2 for 1 there. Interesting. Bertans is a gunner. So OKC, and now remember, OKC's got a ton of picks in the tuck. They also have a lot of young players in the tuck. So they can absorb veteran salaries like this David Bertans salary. They got a bunch of youngins just marinating on that OKC roster. And I'm almost wondering, I know Presti is the pick hoarder, but when are you gonna flip some of these youngins, bro? Dario Saric is the most veteran player on this roster. Dario Saric, all of 5 years. Why is no one trying to get Poku? Poku is a dude I would be trying to get. You want a big man? Who was asking for it? Yo, Untamed. The boy genius, Brad Stevens, needs to be hollering at Poku. Poku is a guy that I think would fit very well in Boston. And they took Jang last year. That to me means and then they got Chet finally pulling up this year. Like, they got a lot of bigs. OKC is going to be on that. Our whole front line is 6'10". And then they got a big point guard in SGA. And then they got your man's Giddey at the 2, and he's 6'8". OKC, if they ever could get all this shit together, bro, it's going to be scary hours for the Western Conference. Whenever Presti presses the buttons and says, okay, we're trying to win now, OKC is going to be stupid, bro. Untamed never thought of that. I'd like Poku low key. Yo, Poku is that's why I was surprised they took Jang last year. I was like, you got Poku already. And then you got Chet. That's a footer. Poku's a footer. Jang is damn near a footer. Jalen Williams is almost a footer. I don't know what Presti's doing. I'm not saying he's doing it bad, but I'm just saying, like, whenever they press the button, it's going to be a problem. I really like Poku. He was a problem 2 years ago. Last year kind of came back down to earth, battled injuries, but what was it? Yeah, two years ago, right? It's just, he's a guy that, to me, if you watch him play, it's like, oh yeah, he just needs minutes. Like, he's a guy that's like, oh yeah, you give him just some run, consistent run. And that's the problem with OKC. It's too many dudes. It's just a lot of dudes. And that's why it's like the whole thing of Presti collecting all these picks, it's dope when you're tanking. But once all these dudes, how do you ever know how good Poku's going to be if he never gets a chance to start? How are they going to know? I mean, Chet hasn't even played a game yet. Did Jang even play? Jang barely played. So it's like, how are you going to know these dudes' contracts are going to be up in a couple of years and these dudes are never going to play? So either you're hoarding these guys to flip, and if that's the play, that's kind of fucked up, man. Like, because to me, I think you could win. Poku, Jalen Williams, assuming Chet can be 85, 90% of what he was at Gonzaga with SGA and Lou Dort and Jalen Williams and Giddey. I mean, that's about 8 dudes right there. This squad should be trying to win next year. What do y'all think OKC is going to try and win next year? Because I think they got the horses. Everyone keeps talking about how, the Grizzlies are this great young up-and-coming team. Look at the names I just ran off. Chet, Poku, Jang, Jalen Williams, SGA, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey. That's 8 dudes. Dre, Taylor Mom looked good. I missed it. Taylor Hendricks. Okay. Will he be getting real run out there in Utah? Because, Ainge could be, not Ainge, but he could be trying to tank again. All right, well, let's check in with Shams. Magic is still on the clock at 11. Not as much action as we thought. Orlando selecting Jeff Howard. Jeff Howard off the board at 11. Jeff Howard, where is he on this big board? Wow, is this the first reach? Wait, Jet or Jeff? Jet Howard, okay. Jet Howard. Well, according to this mock draft, Jet Howard was supposed to be around 23 to Portland. So for him to go 11, that could be our first reach of the night. Interesting. Okay. Jet Howard. Is this Jawan's kid? $34 piece against Iowa. Couple of 20 pieces. Okay. Abigail, Dallas had to give up a first for a bad contract. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is in today's NBA. They don't want to pay that luxury tax. Thank y'all for pulling up. I see some more people pulling up. If y'all could do your boy a favor, the algorithm likes it if you hit that like button, so therefore I like it. So if you could tap that on your way in, I really would appreciate that if you're enjoying the content. Tame, he really just drafted trees. Yeah, it's weird, bro. Like, they can really win right now. Now, they won't win a championship or nothing like that, but they could certainly be competitive in the West. Tame, they definitely hoarding the flip. That's way too tall of a team. If SGA is your point and he's 6'6", and Giddey as your 2 is 6'8", or Jalen Williams, because he was nice, or Lou Dort. See, that's the thing. You can come with those trees off the bench. You could go with a more conventional lineup. Let's say you go, because at times they went SGA, Giddey, and Dort, right? And then they had, who did they put out there? At times it was Poku, but not really. Was it your man's Jalen Williams? Did Jalen Williams get a lot of starts? I don't remember him starting that much. 49 games, but did he start? He started 36 games. Like, that's kind of the thing. Like, you really can't figure out what they could be if none of their guys are ever really healthy. Because what's Chet in the league? Like, Chet was kind of supposed to be Wemby before Wemby. Chet was supposed to be like the warm-up to us getting Wemby. Chet Howard to Orlando. Yep. Scrub Zero, the Thunder aren't trying to win. They're good with hoarding picks and being in that playing mix. I think that's just bad, though. Like, these players are actually good. They've done a good job of drafting. Like, I really liked Jang, and when the Knicks took him, I said, holy shit, the Knicks might have actually taken someone nice. And then I saw that trade, and I was like, oh, the Knicks will always nick. The Knicks will always nick. Of course they're going to send Jang away. Of course. Of course. Let's see. Dre, how did Cam Whitmore drop this low? I have no idea, bro. He's a top 10 pick to me. He's a top 10 pick. I don't know how Cam is still. Let's see, is he still on the board? Did he get picked yet? Nope, we're still sitting on 11 with Jet. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why Cam is still on the board. A very good team is going to get a good player in Cam. Cam is nice. I mean, the fact that we got Cam still there, Grady Dick is still there, Jordan Hawkins, a lot of people like him from UConn. We're starting to get into that piece of where it's like you kind of know dudes, but you're not really sure. I'm saying that's like a lateral quickness challenge team overall. No, I feel you. I think if you have all those bigs coming off the bench, like if you go with a traditional SGA, Giddey and Dort, those are more, even though SGA is a big point guard, Giddey's definitely a big two guard. And then you got, well, you can either put Dort at the two, who's more of a traditional two in terms of size, or, I mean, they're kind of interchangeable, Giddey and Dort. So, and SGA with the size he has, so. Mavs take Lively. Okay, good. I like that move for Dallas. Dwight Powell has been a shell. He's been a bust. Maybe they could finally move off that Dwight Powell bullshit out there in Dallas. Hopefully the homie Mavs man here on YouTube, I'm sure he'll be doing some content around the Mavs doing that. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. That really does make a lot of sense. That's the first pick in the last couple of picks. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. Like someone I've actually seen play and I think is pretty good at that spot. So Dallas is able to trade back and still get the guy that they wanted all along. And here's the thing with him. If you look at this log, right? He's not a big rebounder. But what he can do is he can block shots. Now, he can bulk up a little bit. He'll definitely have to bulk up. And I think you can learn to crash boards in the league. But he is very proactive at going for blocks. Now, that could work against him where that could get him in foul trouble with the head fakes and all that shit, the pump fakes. But I think in terms of being proactive to attacking the rim, he could be a rim runner for sure. He can learn to attack the glass better. But the way that he goes after block shots, that's what Dallas needs. Dwight Powell looked like a guy that could do that, never materialized. Derek Lively is already that. Good pick by the Mavericks, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, Gritty's a triple-double. Giddey is a freak of nature, bro. Giddey is a problem. Like, and that's why, to me, that's what's maddening to me about them not trying to win. Because I'm like, yo, SGA is a problem. Giddey is a problem. Even Lou Dort can flash, and we know what he can do defensively. Like that as your 1, 2, 3, you're set. Now you got Chet, Poku, Jang, both Williamses. Like you got a whole bunch of dudes that can be in your front court. Pick 2 and let's go and see how that goes. Like you can get 40 wins. You can actually win. And they've been stockpiling so many first round picks. How many more of their own picks do they need to be in the lottery? Like, unless we're going to keep trying to tank until we get a number 1 overall pick. Like, cool story, bro. But people are already giving away picks for next year because they're already saying next year's draft is going to be mid. Hella mid. They're already projecting it. Now, that draft could include Bronny. I won't speculate any further than that. I'm just saying, like, there are already people poo-pooing and teams are already kind of trading 2024 first rounders already. So, I don't know, man. I think OKC, the time is now, bro. It's time to win, Presty. Like, you got the horses. But yeah, I'm going to go back to this Dre comment. How did Cam Whitmore drop this low? I would really like to know. Because I do not know. I'm not sure why. He should have. I mean, if he falls out the lottery, and I told y'all, like when I came on today, like I've seen him go anywhere from 6 to out the lottery, and it's looking like the out the lottery piece was the more accurate projection, which is really interesting. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of shit that comes out after this draft about why he slid, but. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't get it. Let's see if we can refresh. All right, we're still good here. So who's at 13? All right, the Raptors are on the clock. Raptors on the clock. Masai Ujiri is probably going to lose. He's going to lose Fred VanVleet. Will he go point guard here to potentially fill the spot vacated by your man's Fred VanVleet? I want to be mad at Cam here, but you already got Scotty Barnes. They need a point guard. They probably go point guard here. So who is... Wallace is off the board. Do they go Kobe or Jordan Hawkins? He can't really. I don't know if he's a point. Not a lot of point guards unless you reach. I don't know what Masai's going to do. Maybe he takes another combo guard. I could see maybe Jordan Hawkins could be in play here. Just based off people that have actually watched play. I could see Hawkins going here because he needs a guard with VanVleet likely not coming back. Untamed. They just need extended runs together to get it right. I don't think it can happen this upcoming season, but there's steps to it. I can see them make noise in 2 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even mad at that. I just want to see them try. Like, I actually think they can do a quick turnaround because SGA, I mean, what was their record last year? I don't even remember their record last year. And, I mean, they were right outside the play-in. They won 40 games last year. And that's with a lot of dudes not really being consistently healthy. And they were in the play-in. If they actually tried, 45 wins would have had them at the 4 seed. 40 wins, and they were openly not trying to make the play-in. I don't know, man. I think they can go ahead and spin that. And if they just unleash the youngins, I won't say 50 games, but they can be in that neighborhood. Scrub Zero in the chat. If Bronny is in next year's draft, it's super mid. Yeah, that's kind of the consensus, is that next year's draft is going to be like not. There's definitely no Wembanyama in next year's draft. I don't think there's a Scoot in next year's draft. There might be a few Brandon Miller types that show us something come next college basketball season and prove themselves to be worthy. But in terms of top tier prospects from the college ranks, nah. Now there might be some G Leaguers that flash, but I haven't been told of any like can't miss without a doubt. Like, nah. Let me just see something. There's a name I want to see here. How many of y'all are familiar with Imani Bates? Oh, wow. They got Oscar Sheboy. Damn. Second round that far for Sheboy? Oh, shit. He's only 6'8"? Yikes. Yeah, then I see why. He didn't look that small when he was playing for Kentucky. That's interesting. Sometimes dudes just look bigger on TV based off the competition they're going against. All right, Raptors are milking this whole clock. You see Siakam there. Van Vliet is gone. Gary Trent is forever in trade rumors, as well as OG. At some point, they're going to have to hand the keys to Scotty Barnes and let him cook. I think ultimately, as we keep waiting, let's see if Woj has anything. Let me bounce around the timeline a little bit, see if we got anything. Woj got nothing. Has Chris Haynes said anything? All that Dame shit, and we've got nothing from him. Nothing from Chris Haynes. All that Dame whisper bullshit. And Scoot goes to 3 for Portland, and not one syllable from Chris Haynes about it. Was it a smokescreen all along? Was all that Dame shit bullshit all along? Because if, his mouthpiece, which is Chris Haynes, anytime Dame needs his narrative put out there, Chris Haynes has been the guy. Scoot goes 3. We kept being told by, where is it? Let's see if we can find all the tweets from Chris Haynes about Dame and not wanting to be whatever and all that type of bullshit. Let's see. Now we can't find all the Dame stuff? Dudes deleting tweets? Is that what's happening here? Bros deleting tweets? There were definitely some tweets, bro. I had them on the timeline T. All right, let's see NBA Central. Let's go back to Shams real quick. Toronto still on that clock? Toronto milking that shit. All right, we'll bounce around. Thompson family, Thompson twins, back-to-back picks, Houston and Detroit for Amen and Asor. Okay, that's cool. I didn't really realize that. We got Bryce Young and Brandon Miller, both from the Crimson Tide, both going to Charlotte. Oh, now look at the spin. Look at the bullshit spin. It's a scary duo. Allegedly, Dame didn't want this duo. Untamed. Yeah, man. All these insiders are real quiet tonight. All these insiders are real quiet. All right, let's see. Damn, Raptors are wasting all our time. All these insiders. Now we're going to say, oh, yeah, Dame, this is a scary duo. Okay. Man's out here wearing that jersey in Brooklyn. Dame gonna have some balls for him? Is Dame gonna freestyle about man's right here? I could tell y'all, like, from working behind the scenes in media on like a lot of productions like this, is like they get the picks really early, and for something like Stadium, they want to get ahead of that shit so that people like us can consume their content instead of watching ESPN. Because Woj, you see Woj isn't really tipping picks. Chris Haynes is barely picking up his phone. So like everyone's kind of laying low in terms of like, projecting picks and getting ahead of the broadcast. But a spot like Stadium, what makes their stream on point is they got arguably the best insider in the game in Shams, and they're tipping picks, and they're not going to wait for ESPN to announce anything. They're just going to jump ahead of it and lock in. So you get that here on the Timeline T NBA Draft Kickback. Don't want to show too much of their stuff, Don't want no problems, but just navigating the timeline, trying to keep up with everything. But yeah, we got all types of aggregation with these tweets. Yeah, everyone is slow tonight, boy. No one's really locked in. No one's really locked in terms of, getting ahead of these tweets. It's a lot of hair for Anthony Black. All right, let's see. Raptors select Grady Dick. Great move. He's a shooter. Toronto is selecting Grady Dick at 13. Our man's Cam falls down yet again, but I do think this is great value at 13 for the Toronto Raptors. Good size. He could play the 2. You could play him with Scotty Barnes. Low key, I think he moves right past OG. Or even if you want to have him come off the bench for OG, I think at some point you're going to have to make that transition to Grady Dick starting and not OG. So I think it's a great pick, a nice stealth Masai Ujiri pick, even though he could be a little bit full of himself in terms of, trade compensation. But in terms of the draft, he's been very solid. And now we have, let's see, the Pelicans on the clock. Pelicans have a lot of needs, yo. Derpy, you was hoping he was going to keep falling? I'm saying that deal was going to last all about 2 days. I mean, it's possible. If Chris Haynes could unlock his phone and let us know something. Dre, they're going to trade OG most likely. I heard the Kings are extremely interested in him. Yeah, I mean, look, hey, I tell you what, man. If that's the best the Kings are going to do in this offseason is a goddamn OG and Anunoby, then cool story, bro. That's not going to do anything for them. Like, if I'm Masai and I could get that off, get some pieces from, the Kings. Let's see, do the Kings have anything? If it's not just a draft pick, is there anything on that roster you would want? I mean, if they want to give up Keegan Murray, we know that's not happening. I don't see nothing here that I would want. Nah. I guess it's going to be for picks then. I mean, Davion, they're not giving up on Davion Mitchell this early. Yeah, there's nothing there. Yeah, nah. I mean, if the Kings want to do it, cool, but I don't see OG helping them. Like, at what spot? OG plays the same position as Keegan Murray. Unless you're going to tell me you're going to try to make him be a 2 guard. That's going to be weird. This draft has been, with all the pomp and circumstance, I ain't gonna hold you. They really hyped up that Dame shit. The Dame shit, we supposed to still be talking about Dame. We supposed to be talking about Dame right now being traded. Or Zion or Brandon Ingram, any of these guys. There's all these trades. And yet here we are. Dame is a Blazer. He's gonna run with Scoot, allegedly. Unless Chris Haynes unlocks his phone. Let's see, did Chris Haynes unlock his phone yet? Nope. It's been over an hour. Chris Haynes has not unlocked his phone. Woj got nothing on it. Nope. And Shams is out here. Uh-oh. The Mavericks are active in the trade marketplace to use their new $17 million exception to acquire a player for a current or future pick. Okay. Dallas is active tonight. Dallas is active. Okay. Thank you, Untame. I appreciate it. Huh. That's interesting. Jordan Hawkins at 14. I like it. I like it. He's a shooter. Pels need that. Pels need shooting. I like that pick a lot for them. Now you see here the way that he can stop and transition off the bounce. You know they do a lot of that up-tempo shit in NOLA. So a lot of these shots are off the bounce. Finishing at the rim. He's got good size. What is he, 6'5"? He's got good size. Like Jordan Hawkins, he can go. He can go. I like that pick. Like that pick. Put him with Trey Murphy. Like that. If the Pels could ever figure shit out, I mean, they were the number one. They had the number one seed in the West for about a couple nights, for like 48 hours. Like if they're healthy, if they got Zion and they got Young Reaper and they got CJ and they got Trey Murphy, Alvarado, Herb Jones, now you add in Hawkins in that mix. Maybe Kira Lewis finally gives you something. Like, the bodies are there. Oh, they're in break. All right. So that means we're at 15. That means the Atlanta Hawks. Dre, OG is going to take Barnes' spot. You want... Why would they put OG at the 4? OG is not a 4. He's smaller than Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes is a small 4. They're going to go put OG there? Maybe I'm missing something. Hold on. Maybe I'm bugging. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing him at the 4... Although I guess at times they put Harrison at the 3 because it's a bonus, but I'm just not that big on OG. I'll keep it a buck with you. Even if they play him at the 3, I mean, Barnes been playing the 4. That's weird to me. I don't know. Dre, De'Aaron Fox and the Kings are a favorite to win the West next year. Oh, you're giving me Mad Dog takes? Mad Dog and ESPN had Kings on his top 5 teams in less list. I mean, look, I'm going to try to say this nicely. I worked at SiriusXM for a very long time in the sports department. I worked on a lot of different channels, including the Mad Dog channel. I'll just say this nicely. Don't listen to Mad Dog when it comes to basketball. I can tell you for a fact that that's not coming from a place of knowledge. Untamed. Trey Murphy and Herb Jones released some Pelicans with that link. Nah, I mean, look, the Pelicans, again, there's a few like OKC. I think they're ready to take a step. The Pelicans were the 1 seed for a hot minute last year. They can get right back there, or at least be a top 5 team in the West if they act right on and off the court, apparently. So, I mean, as long as they act right, they could be right there in the mix. Derby Pelicans really about to be stacked. I mean, I don't know about stacked. I mean, if they don't make no trades, if they keep Zion, they keep Brandon Ingram, yes. You know, CJ McCollum, like it's kind of like that fake big three, like with Phoenix. It's kind of like a fake big three where it's like, all right, yeah, they have 3 dudes, but I don't know if it's a big three. Same thing with Nola. Like I don't know if, you know, Brandon Ingram, Young Reaper, Kobe at 15 to Atlanta. Kobe at 15 to Atlanta. Okay. So another guy from Juwan Howard's team goes. Is this still technically the lottery? Yeah, 15, right? 15 is still the lottery. Couple of 20 pieces. A lot of 20 pieces. Okay, he's a bucket. He can shoot from 3. He's a shooter. He's a shooter. So, okay. And he's got good size. Is this the precursor for a move with either DeJounte Murray or DeAndre Hunter? The Hawks, I feel, should be trading Trae Young, but it doesn't look like they will. So instead of that, they're going to keep, just like the Blazers are, you know, and we thought the Blazers were going to bend over and say for Dame, and like the Warriors bent over and said for Steph by going to go get the point guard. It looks now like potentially the Hawks are bending over and saying for Trae Young if they move on from DeJounte Murray. Similar size as DeJounte Murray. Or do they finally move off of Trae Young and now they got a big backcourt with DeJounte Murray at point and Kobe sliding in at the 2? Because DeAndre Hunter has been very disappointing. I'm not sure why they took him that high out there coming from Virginia, just because they won that chip. Very weird pick. But Trae Young puts up a lot of stats, so he fools people with just his box score. But Trae Young does not play winning basketball. I feel they should move off of that. We shall see. All right, let's see what we got here. Who's now on the clock? Utah Jazz. Their second pick. This would have been the Timberwolves pick, but thanks to Rudy Gobert, it is now the Utah Jazz's pick. Colin Sexton was allegedly available. If a team wants a guy who can masquerade as a point guard. I'm really fascinated that Chris Haynes' phone is like not doing anything right now. This man ain't about to tweet not one thing the whole night. Shout out to my mans, though. Trey Dame. He thought he was going to go viral crazy if they would have traded Dame. He would have been out of here. His views and his mentions would have been crazy. Instead, we got that lame ass, I still got that tweet of Dame and Scoot being a duo now all of a sudden from Bleacher Report. That was Bleacher Report, right? Yeah. That will be our troll tweet of the night. Oh, I think it was regular Bleacher Report then. Look at your man's Grady Dick, boy. Your man's Grady Dick outside. Outside, boy. Scoot. Big wildin'. Oh, so that was Juwan Howard's son. I was asking y'all. All right, cool. So that was Juwan Howard's son. Salute. All French everything. All French everything. Yeah, there's our troll tweet for the night. Dynamic duo. Come on, son. Untamed. Yeah, Hawks need to trade either DeJounte or Trey. I'm trading Trey. He's not a winning player. Big facts, Untamed. Trey is just a good category fantasy player. That's big facts, bro. I don't get why people are enamored with Trey Young. He doesn't even shoot that good from three anymore. Like, people's like, oh, I used to call him a bootleg Steph Curry. I'm like, I can't even do that. That's an insult. It's like a bootleg Jordan Poole. The way he shot from three this year, didn't he? He wasn't even making, Now we're just going to go straight to Trey. He wasn't even 30% at one point. Man, he had to shoot his ass off to get to 33%. He was trending way less than this. And he shot 33% in the playoffs. He shot 30% in his career, even though he had that crazy run against the Knicks and they had that fraudulent run to the conference finals before they finally took their medicine. He has not shot well in the postseason. 30% from three in the playoffs. I don't know, man. He's just not a winning player to me. Untamed. Colin Sexton is trash. To be honest, all he does is score, but inefficiently. Yeah, he's a point guard that's masquerading. He's a shooting guard that's masquerading as a point guard. There's a lot of those in the NBA right now, unfortunately. Dre, since 2019, the only players to lead their teams to the playoffs and also make an all-star team is John Morant and Anthony Edwards. Isn't that wild? Playoffs and make an all-star team. I feel like there should be more players there, but I'll take whoever put the stat out there. I'll take their word for it. But I feel like there should be more players there, right? Up, the Lakers on the clock. So what happened? Lakers moved up. Utah is selecting Keontae George. Okay, Keontae George at 16. Lakers on the clock at 17. And that was who that was selected for the Lake Show. Well, we know the Lakers need a point guard. It's just, are they gonna try to wait for one in free agency, or are they gonna try to draft one? Unless y'all believe in Austin Reeves like that, who's going to get a bag anyway? But you can have Austin Reeves be your two. He doesn't have to be your point. There's going to be a lot of opinions on this pick. The Lakers have held on to this first rounder and it turns out to be the 17th overall pick. The Lakers fans have been wanting this pick. They've been traded for the last few years, and Pelinka held on to it with his life. So now it's here we go. Dre. No, it's only Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards who made the playoffs and All-Star teams since the 2019 draft. That is interesting. Isn't that a technicality, though? Because, I mean, Zion's made an All-Star team, right? And the Pels have been in the playoffs. Unless I'm bugging. Zion's a two-time All-Star, and hasn't he played in the playoffs? Or the Pels have been in the playoffs, just he hasn't. Oh, that's the technicality. Okay. That's like one of those, LeBron James is the first player ever on a Tuesday in the middle of March to average this, and this, and it's like, oh, okay. All right, let's see. We're pretty much halfway through the first round. I will not be doing the second round. Telling you that straight up, especially if there's no big trades. I thought maybe we would get Dame or something. Copy that. Got you, Dre. Got you. Yep, didn't play in the playoffs. Hey, didn't RJ Barrett make a? Nah, that's not. RJ Barrett's not making no All-Star team. He's not. Oh, man. I hate these polls that they have here on the side. Who was the best value pick of the lottery? And they don't even have Cam. Because Cam hasn't gone yet. Grady Dick with 21%. 23%. Okay. Like that. Utah had some conversations on trading number 9 and 16, but appeared to be standing pat. Keontae George has been high on their board for number 16. Okay? At least Woj is giving us something. Let's go to your man. It's Chris Haynes. Yeah. Chris Haynes, man. On that bullshit, boy. Chris Haynes on that bullshit, boy. Man's just iced out. Got the loafers with no socks. Interesting. All right, let's see. I love how they call Man's just a fan. Yeah, the socials are real quiet tonight. All the fireworks that we were promised. Dre always gives us like the first take type questions. I love it. Can Victor Wembanyama make the playoffs and All-Star game in his rookie year like Magic Johnson? No, because the Spurs are not trying to make the playoffs this year. I don't even know if he'll make it in the All-Star game. Like, let's see. Do we have All-Star rosters? I don't think they do All-Star rosters on Basketball Reference. Yeah, I don't think Big Vic's making an All-Star team next year. I mean, and we know the rookie game don't count. Let's see. Could Big Vic beat out any of these guys? Big Vic beating out Triple J? Sabonis, maybe? Yeah, Big Vic's not winning that. He's not winning that. Unless France floods the ballot. Lakers taking all the time in the world. I wouldn't be mad at Cam right here for the Lake Show. They get Cam right here. I'm not mad at that. But yeah, Cam has slid down this board. And there were people that did project this. I know most of the popular mock drafts had Cam in the lottery range and like top 10. But there were a good amount of mock drafts that had him in this late teens into the 20s range. That's a big variance, but, you know, here we are. Trying to see who we got here. Do a quick refresh. That's Keontae. Okay. Dre, I thought Cam was a top 5 pick. A lot of people said Cam to Dre. Yeah, I mean, he was projected to be definitely a top 10 guy. I just find it curious. Like, I would love to see what happened. Like, well, we're going to find out. People are going to talk about this. Good program, Villanova. Villanova pros usually perform well at this level. Is there any, like, at this point, you have to start thinking there might be a health thing, like an injury thing. I don't know what else it could be. You know, 34% from three, 48% from the field. Hits the glass pretty good. His true shooting's pretty good. Effective field goal percentage is pretty good. They're projecting his 3-point to be 35% at the league. That's average. That's league average. Usage rate 26. That's pretty good. That means he's a guy that doesn't need the ball to be productive. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but I would have to assume, you know, they say he has some weaknesses because he's not a passer because he's a wing. You're saying the Lakers win JHS? Okay, Untamed saying Lakers win JHS. We've been waiting for his name. Jalen Hood Shafino. Is that why they were showing him just now? God damn, he's got no strengths. Like, yeah, that's kind of crazy, bro. That's kind of wild. Man's got no strengths. That's wild, son. That's wild for a first round pick, bro. Jalen Hood Shafino at 17. Derpy likes to pick. So they go from THT a few years ago to now JHS this year. Big Ten Rookie of the Year. All Big Ten third team. But man's got no strengths, apparently. He's got all but weaknesses. All weakness, everything. That's kind of wild. All right, so the Lakers hang on to that pick. They get JHS. 6'5", big guard. Let's see if we can break this down. Oh, Derby giving us the T. I like it. He's an Ohio State guy, and he tore up the Big Ten. Okay, I like it. All right. So let's break it down. Not the shooting was below average. He projects to be a 35% three-point shooter. Well, we'd love to see how they figure that one out. True shooting, you would like to see this at above 50%, but we'll cut on some slack. Effective field goal is okay. Huh. I mean, I'll take Derpy's word for it. I'll take Pelinka's word for it. And more importantly, the Lakers still have Phil Handy. And if you're not familiar with Phil Handy, I've talked about him ad nauseum here on my YouTube, but also on the D7D podcast. Phil Handy can do wonders. The reason why we know of THT is because of the work Phil Handy did with THT. The reason why we know Kyle Kuzma is because of the work that Phil Handy did with THT. The reason why we saw Austin Reeves go crazy and Rui Hachimura flash and flash in the playoffs is because of Phil Handy. Phil Handy is one of the best assistant coach / trainers in the entire league. And he's locked in with the Lakers for a couple of more seasons. So anytime the Lakers draft someone, you kind of have to give them a little extra boost because they're going to be in the hands of Phil Handy. Pause. Untamed. No way is this, biased Celtics hate, right? Leave it to Lakers to suck at drafting. Totally unbiased. Dre, did Cam handles look suspect to you? Because it did to me a little, but Cam was balling at Villa. See, handles is weird, right? Like, does he have Kyrie handles? No. Does he have Paul George handles? No. Does he have Brandon Ingram handles? No. But it's not like he can't take someone off the dribble. Like, is he crossing people up? No, I don't think that's his game. His game is more get to my spot, first step, body positioning, body angles. Like, to me, he's not killing you with his athleticism. So was his handles great? No. But are they trash like Jaylen Brown's left hand? No. So they're kind of average. I think he has average handles. I don't envision that being a big part of his game at this level anyway. I never really thought about it, to be quite honest with you, Dre, but I don't see that being something that would make him slide like this, to be quite honest with you. Because handles you can fix. That's why it's stunning that Jaylen Brown still can't dribble with his left hand. Handles you can fix. I couldn't dribble with my left when I was a kid. And it took me 2 summers, but then I could dribble with my left hand. Jaylen Brown is about to get $295 million, and he still can't dribble with his left hand. I know he said he worked on it last summer. Maybe he needs 2 summers like I did when I was 10. Maybe this second summer of working on his left hand will, give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's weird, bro. Derpy JSS is from Indiana, but from a fan of Ohio State, he taught the Big Ten. All right, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with it. I mean, I think, putting him with Phil Handy, and he's got good size, 6'10" wingspan, that's helpful. 6'10" wingspan, that's helpful. Now who does this put on the clock? Miami Heat culture. Who is going to get Heat cultured? Do they go big to replace Udonis Haslem? Untamed, I'm 5'7". I could grip a ball off the bounce. Big KD Kitty, the Palmer ball regularly low. Yes, I got 10-inch hits. All right, so Untamed is out here walking around with Scoot and Kawhi hands at 5'7". Man, all you needed was 4 more inches, pause, with those hands. Four more, bro. 5'11", with those hands, you could have made it to the league. If the point fraud can make it and he's 5'10", 5'11", AI is a Hall of Famer at 5'11", he made it to the league. Earl Boykins was what, 5'8"? Nate was what, 5'8", 5'7"? The Heat are on the clock. Let's see who else we got. The Heat and then the Warriors and then the Rockets. All right, we're getting there. It's a little upsetting that teams are taking all the goddamn time. Like at least with this past year's NFL draft, when we did a lot to watch along for that, it was so much intrigue at the top, and it was still a lot of trades that were happening like throughout. With the NBA draft tonight, we got chalk all the way through in the top 5 with Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, Scoot, and the Thompson twins. And then things kind of shook up a little bit. But, you know, I'm still glad y'all pulled up. I'm glad I'm able to provide this content for y'all. I'm glad I'm providing the space and that y'all are staying in here and we're locked in. And we're going to ride this shit out to the 30th pick. We're going to ride this out to the 30th pick. Heat select Jaime. I could say Jamie, but because his last name is Vasquez, I'm going to say Jaime Vasquez. Vasquez. Jaime UCLA. Where is he at? Oh, yeah. Bam. They got that right. Senior. California kid. He's got a lot more strengths than JHS. Your weakness is his draft age. What is he, old? Oh, he's 22. God damn. Okay. Projected NBA three-pointer. Saying he's not going to be a shooter? Projected NBA three-pointer is 34%. He shot 32% in college. So a team that couldn't shoot drafted a guy that can't shoot. Okay. I mean, he looks okay in these highlights. Jaime Jaquez. Okay. Jaime Jaquez. Thank you, Untamed. Untamed's been helping me out with the pronunciations. Jaime Jaquez. It's an interesting pick. He can't shoot, and the Heat needs shooting. His true shooting is okay. His effective field goal percentage is okay, but the three-point and a projected three-point, and for a guy that's not a good shooter, that usage rate is a little too high for my liking. 28% usage rate. In the way that I've been studying these games and whatnot and studying these metrics, if you're a NBA starter that's a number one option, your usage rate is 30 and up. And this is trending towards that for someone who can't shoot. And from the video, even though it looked impressive, didn't look to be that quick. Maybe he's sneaky athletic, but all right, we'll see what's up with Jaime. Untamed. I tore my LCL, my ACL. I lost a nasty step, especially on defense. That's tough, bro. That's tough. Yeah, it's battling back from injuries is always a fucking thing, man. I threw out my back doing track and field, and that shit fucked me up for like 2 to 3 years. It took me to get back to where I feel like I could be what I used to be in any kind of sport. I did that shit doing track and field, and it fucked me up in all the other sports I used to play. It definitely took me a few years to get back into that confidence of, all right, I can be like what I was. So I feel you on that. Scrub Zero, appreciate you doing this. I'm busy cleaning, so this is great stuff to listen to. Hey, man, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Let's see where we at here. All right, so Jaime Jaquez is gone. That means the Warriors are on the clock. We know they're not drafting the point guard, right? Can't be drafting the point guard. They just traded one today, and they traded a young one away for an old 38-year-old one. So will they make the same mistake and try to go draft a center when they don't need centers because their system isn't fit or built around having a respectable center? They got to be taking a Draymond replacement, right? They got to be taking a habitual nut hitter replacement at some point, right? I mean, Cam is still there. Does Cam fit with the Warriors? I mean, he's got the size of Draymond. Oh, they took a shooting guard? Untamed saying took a shooting guard. Let's go ahead and refresh. Where are we at? Golden State is selecting Brandon. Oh, they're taking the, is he Serbian? Santa Clara. Okay. Jordan Poole replacement. Okay. He's got, wow. His only weakness is wingspan. He's got short arms. He's got those Kevin Willis arms. Shout out if y'all know Kevin Willis. He's got those Kevin Willis arms. Yeah, 6'4" with a 6'5" wingspan. Yeah, in basketball, that's not going to help him. Let's see. The highlights look all right. Oh, we missed the highlights. Short arms. Short arms does not help as a shooter. I can tell you that. Put up 19 a game, 43.8%, so 44% from 3. 8 boards. Okay. Don't need no wingspan when you're grabbing 9 boards a game. Now, again, it's Santa Clara. WCC, not the greatest comp in terms of D1. 6'4" and 3/4, so we'll give him 6'5", 6'5", 200. That's way bigger than Jordan Poole, pause. That's way bigger than Jordan Poole. That might be a Clay replacement. He want that extension, right? He want that extension. There be the rich get rich. You think this is a steal? You think getting man's? Oh nah, you saw that shot just. Oh nah, that shot's gonna get thrown in the league, bro. He's not going to have that much space. That shot going to get thrown, bro. Yeah, the lack of that wingspan shit might really be a real weakness, bro. Cause that shit, he not going to be able to create that much space in the league. Now, again, he's playing with the Warriors. he might just be marinating in the corner waiting for a driving kick from Steph or the point fraud. But once he's left alone, he ain't getting that shit off like that in the league, bro. Until him, I think Dre gets a team-friendly deal. Well, to me, that would be then why decline the option? Was it with 27 mil? He declined 27 mil just to sign for less money? To sign for less money, but more years, I guess. You're trading a higher salary for more longevity, I guess. But truthfully, if y'all were the Warriors front office, even if it's a team-friendly deal, do you think bringing Draymond Green back is the right thing to do? Because I don't think it is. Rockets back on the clock at the 20th pick. 10 more picks to go. Untamed. Breaking it. Cam finally off the board. Hit that refresh. There you go. Cam Whitmore at 20. Cam Whitmore is the pick. Finally off the board. I have to say, I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. Oh, Mavs man is in here. Bro, we was looking for you earlier with the Derek Likely pick, man. We like that pick for y'all. Mavs man is a big Mavs guy. Support him. Man, I really think I really think Cam Whitmore to Houston. That's a real that's the best value pick of the night so far. Outside of maybe Scoot at 3, I think getting Cam at 20. That's a really good value pick. Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore. Houston couldn't have imagined that being the haul they would get with the 4th pick and the 20th pick. Strong move. Strong move by Houston. Sometimes you just take the guy. The guy is sitting there. You're not sure why he's still sitting there, but you just say, fuck it. We just going to take him. We had some of the worst defensive players in the league. Fuck it. We got Amen Thompson, who has shown the propensity to want to play defense. I'm not saying he's good at defense, but he has shown the ability to want to play defense. So at least you're getting a head start there. And y'all know how Nova gets down with dudes in the league. Those dudes normally are pretty adept at playing defense. I mean, he is really young, just under 19 years old. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they're projecting him to be an average three-point shooter, 35%, a low usage rate, 25, 26%. Like, not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened. Untamed with Amen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this has been a great draft night for Houston. I know we get into all the winners and losers and all that type of bullshit, but to have 2 first-round picks, the 4th and the 20th pick, and to walk away with 2 guys that were both projected to be in the top 5. I had the 4th pick and the 20th pick, and I walk away with 2 guys that were projected to be in the top 5. That's a win. I don't give a fuck if there is a secret injury there with Cam or not. I'll take it. That's great value. So now the Nets have back-to-back picks. And then we got Portland on the clock again at 23. See how that goes. They're taking a break. Brooklyn with back-to-back picks. There was a brief conversation that they might be in the Dame mix. And again, this doesn't mean that Dame is going to be a Portland Trailblazer, right? And speaking of the homie, we got the homie Greg Larner pulled up. I mentioned him earlier. It's all good, Greg. We've been holding it down here pretty strong. Appreciate the likes for those pulling in. Appreciate if y'all can hit that like button. That algorithm likes it, so I like it. Yeah, man. Nah, man. The stream's been pretty good. I forgot what the Hawks even did. The Hawks took a 2-guard, right? The Hawks took a 2-guard that can't shoot. Let's see. I gotta scroll back. Yeah, Atlanta is selecting. Yeah, they took Kobe Bufkin. And if you want to get into Kobe Bufkin, he was hooper for Michigan, 35%. He projects to be at the NBA level, 36%, so about league average from 3. Low usage rate, so you like that. So he's a shooter. My bad, he's a shooter. Oh, yes. What we were thinking about with Kobe, Greg, since you're out there in Tennessee, and he deals with my guy Greg Larnard here. He is an ESPN radio host. I go on his show every Wednesday. We do an hour every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. And, man, me and him have been talking a lot about the Hawks, a lot about the Grizzlies. And right now, G, what we've been talking about with Kobe here from Michigan is it looks like he could be a DeJounte or a DeAndre Hunter replacement. That's what we're kind of thinking here. I don't really see Kobe as a point guard, but I think he's more in that combo guard range. So if they do move on from DeAndre Hunter or DeJounte Murray, which I think I definitely would move on from DeAndre Hunter, but moving on from the DeJounte Murray to me is problematic. But even if they do that, they got Kobe who could potentially slot in there. All right, let's see what else we got. But I'm glad you could pull up, bro. Glad you could pull up. We got a good crew in here tonight. We got we got Mavs Man, who's a Mavs fan. He's up in here. We got Untamed, who's a Celtics guy. We got a good crew in here. Derpy is in here. He's a Cavalier guy. We got a good crew in here tonight checking out this draft. Dame is still a Blazer for now. And yeah. Untamed, did you hear Atlanta wants to start AJ Griffin over DeAndre at small forward? I think with the way that he proved himself last year, I did not hear that. Maybe Greg can tap in if he's heard that since he's out there. But in regard to, I have not heard that, but that makes a lot of sense to me. The problem is DeAndre Hunter makes way too much money. So you would rather move him than have the embarrassment of, what was he, the 3rd pick overall, be on the bench for a guy you just drafted last year. So if that's the case, if they want to start AJ Griffin, which I'm not mad at, and Jalen Johnson's going to be a problem too, that they're another team that needs to unleash the youngins. Jalen Johnson needs to be starting. Finally get rid of John Collins and let Jalen Johnson get in there and start. Greg is tapping in. Trey, and then make Murray the point guard. Yes. Murray's the only point guard on that roster. Trae Young is a shooting guard masquerading as a point guard. Let's see what we got here. We got the Nets making back-to-back picks. And then we have the Blazers with their 2nd first-round pick thanks to the Knicks and the Cam Reddish trade. Now, like I was saying before I realized G had pulled up, the Nets have back-to-back picks here. These 2 picks could be moved once these dudes are drafted, and a potential deal like for a Dame Lillard. Like, just because Dame hasn't been moved yet doesn't mean that he's not going to be moved. So we have to pay close attention to who the Nets draft here because they potentially could be used as leverage or pieces in a deal soon to come. We are rolling strong here. I appreciate y'all tapping that like button. I really do appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. Shit is lit. Even though we haven't gotten the fireworks like we thought we would, it's been pretty strong. And we've had some interesting choices. We've had a couple of reaches. The top of the draft was pretty much chalk. It's been pretty good. Untamed Music, Scoop being modest, saying me and Dame will be a problem. I mean, look, again, all right, let's go to Chris Haynes. Has Chris Haynes unlocked his phone yet? Has Chris Haynes said anything? Yo, Chris Haynes, who's the mouthpiece for Damian Lillard, bruh, the fact that he ain't say shit is crazy, bro. Scoop being modest, saying me and Dame will be a problem. Look, yeah, nah, look, I think assuming he'll still be there, assuming Dame and Scoot can actually be on the floor together, I'll give Dame this, right? If he actually did have a problem with the whole Scoot thing because he wasn't sure how they could play together, I could understand that. But now here's the thing if you're Chauncey Billups. If they don't make any trades, how do you play this lineup? You can't put Scoot at point, right? You still want to have Dame at point. Although I know Damian Lillard is not a point guard. He's a shooting guard masquerading as a point guard. But he's the guy, so he's going to play that. Does that now mean it's between Scoot and Anthony Simons? Or you're going to have Scoot off the bench? Scoot and Shaedon Sharpe off the bench is wild. Although Shaedon Sharpe might be in line to start. So then you got Scoot as that energy guy off the bench? If Portland's putting their foot down and they're saying, no, fuck it, man, we're taking Scoot and that's it. Cool. But how's this going to work now? I'm still saying you should do it. But how's this going to work now? Because you got three guys that are all like 6'3" and under. In Scoot, Anthony Simons, and Dame. Shaedon Sharpe is about 6'5", 6'6". It's going to be interesting to see how they play that, dogs, because Dame is small. Anthony Simons is like CJ, so he's small. And Scoot, even though he's built like a linebacker, he's about 6'3". So I don't know. We're going to have to see how that works. Brooklyn is selecting Noah Clowney. That's a solid pick if they keep it. Where was he? He was supposed to go higher. Where was he? I thought I saw him. Yeah. I like him. I talked about him earlier. Yeah, I talked about him earlier. Yeah, I think, hey, G, didn't I mention Clowney on your show? I think he was the guy that I mentioned. Anyway, but I think Clowney is good size here. 6'10", got overshadowed playing next to, Brandon Miller. But as you see here in some of the highlights here, he can stretch the floor. I don't know if you're going to get a lot of that at the next level. I like his game, though. Plays up to his size. And I think that's something where a lot of bigs coming out of college don't really do that anymore. He plays up to his size. Match man, next Saturday gonna be fun. Yes, sir. July 1st, you already know. Free agency. Free agency gonna be all turned up. Untamed. Dame plays PG only because of his height, but I agree, he's a two guard. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think there's been a confusion of, well, this person plays point, so they're a point guard. I'm like, well, no, he just plays a position of point guard. He's not a point guard. He's not facilitating offense. He's facilitating his shot. He's a shoot first guard. He's a combo guard. At most, I'll give him a combo guard. But to me, he's a shooting guard masquerading as a point guard. I think Steph is the same way. I think Ja Morant's the same way. There's a lot of, exciting guards that are small that play the point guard position, but they're not actually point guards. But, people just see the word PG next to them and like, oh, he's a point guard. I'm like, well, are you watching the games or nah? What about Steph Curry makes you think he's a point guard? When has Steph Curry ever come down and like turn down his own shot to like make sure, Kevon Looney gets a touch? Shit don't happen, bro. Like Ja Morant is trying to get his shot. He's trying to attack the rim. He's trying to yam on somebody. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's their game. But to call them point guards, that's not the case, bro. Like, there's a clear difference. Legion Hoops got the quote. All right. I think I had that in one of the tabs. Let's see. It's NBA Central. I thought I had them in one of the tabs. Stand by. Let's see. At least they're tweeting. Chris Haynes ain't fucking tweeting. At least we got Legion Hoops. Woo! PDX Rip City. PDX Rip City. I just hope this is still a thing 48 hours from now. I just hope 48 hours from now that this is still a possibility. All right, so Noah Clowney at 21. Let's see what else they're going to do with that 22nd pick. And then we got the Portland Trailblazers with their second pick of the night. Mavs, man, Steph might turn into Rip Hamilton playing next to the point forward. I mean, he should. And I hate to go into these rants. I went into a rant earlier. But, like, that's why they should have took LaMelo. Like, Steph did as much as he could playing point prior. But when you had LaMelo sitting right there, you take LaMelo, you move Steph off the ball, you could have moved Clay down to the 3. Like, you could have still kept Clay and still keep the whole Splash Brothers thing, just move them down a little bit. Put Steph at the 2 and Clay at the 3. You don't need to go get Wiggins at that point. Like, so that's the thing. Like, they kept compounding. That Weissman shit was really just, it like really fucked them up, bro. All right, let me check that tweet real quick. Let's see, what's that? Anything important? Oh, okay, cool. Yes, sir, we could do that. All right, let's see. Is Woj tweeting anything? Yeah, it's been a weird night for the tweets, bro. Never forget. Never forget. Never forget. All right, so let's see. Chris Haynes still ain't tweet. Legion Hoops got that popping off. All right, let's see. Let's go with, let me come off that for a sec. Come back. Okay. All right. G's asking what's been my faith pick so far. I got to go Cam. Cam Whitmore at 20. I would have said Scoot at 3. But Cam Whitmore at 20, who there was multiple mock drafts that had him definitely a lottery pick, but there was a lot of draft picks that had him top 5, top 7. The fact that Houston came in here with the 4th pick and the 20th pick and walked away with 2 guys in Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore that were projected to be top 5 picks, top 6 picks, I got to go Cam. Now, maybe there's something injury-wise with Cam that made him slide, but there were people that weren't so high on him and put him in that teen a high teen range. But to me, I liked what I saw. But y'all answered G in the chat. Well, what's been your favorite pick so far? For me, I'm going to go Cam at 20 to the Houston Rockets. I know Mavs Man is going to go Derek Lively at what, 13, 12, 13? Whitehead's off the board. Whitehead to the Nets. Whitehead to the Nets. Like it. I like it. Untamed saying both of the Rockets picks were by far the best. By far. Okay. I mean, I think you could definitely make a case for Scoot at 3. I do think the Mavs getting likely, even with trading back from 10 to 12, I believe. That was a really good pick as well. So I think a few teams were able to move around a little bit and make headway. Whitehead is a dead-eye shooter, right? Let's see what they project his... Damn, he doesn't have a lot of strengths. When your strength is your age... Oh, he's from Newark. So he's a dead-eye shooter. So he shot 43% at Duke. And they project him to be a 38% shooter in the league. That's above average in the league. That's really high. True shooting, is pretty good, actually. I would expect it to be a little higher for a shooter, but pretty good. Effective field goal percentage, solid. Yeah, he's here to shoot, dogs. He's here to be in the corners and put the threes up. Mikal Bridges, assuming he's still there, driving kick game, sick. Cam Thomas, Cameron Johnson. Again, all assuming they're still there. Untailing down for Nick Smith to Boston. Okay. Script Zero, like the young man the Raptors got. See, that's the thing. I got to keep a running. Let me see if I can find some real quick. Live tracker. This goddamn mic in the way. All right, let's see. We get a live tracker. Grady Dick. Okay, pause. Yep. All right. So we got a little bit of a live tracker. Yeah, Grady Dick is an underrated pick as well. I think I mentioned him on Greg's show the other day as well. Yesterday, matter of fact. Grady Dick is a guy. I think he should have went top 10. So the Raptors getting him, potential, OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet replacement, allegedly. I like that pick as well. It's a good pick. Mavs, man. I wanted Whitmore at 12, but I'm cool with Lively. Got off Bertan's contract and opened up the full mid-level exemption. Mavs did what needed to be done. Okay, I respect that. I like Lively a lot more than you do, I guess. I think in terms of, Dwight Powell's just not been that dude. I think Lively comes in there and immediately takes his minutes. Chris Murray going to Portland at 23. Got that up here. Okay. 22 years old, older. So it's a couple of 22-year-olds. 6'8", so he's about 6'9". Sounds like a Cam Reddish replacement, or maybe a Jeremy Grant replacement. Interesting. Okay. So Scoot Henderson and Chris Murray, the 2 picks for Portland. I think Houston did better with their 2 first-round picks. Utah did okay with their 2 first-round picks as well. But I think Houston far and away getting Amen Thompson and Cam. Ugh. Sicko mode. Sicko mode. All right, let's see where we at here. I'm just going to keep periodically just checking on Chris Haynes, man. Chris Haynes must be, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with your man's Chris Haynes. It's 2 hours since he's tweeted, bro. No Dame shit. What's up, man? Dame shit. That's all I'm on. Dame shit. That's all I'm on. What happened, Chris Haynes? What happened? What happened, Chris Haynes? Oh, man. You get rid of that one. Your man's Woj giving you anything? Nope. Okay. Portland took Murray. Yep, we got that. We're up here. Let's check him out real quick. Almost there, y'all. 24th pick to the Kings. I mean, Untamed, you might get Nick Smith. It's likely he's still going to be there. I don't see the Kings taking a guard, even though they're projected to take one. I just don't see it. I don't see why they would. I think they need some size. Gang shit, that's Dame shit, that's all about. Oh man, only on these live streams, bro. Only on these live streams can we say some silly shit. Oh man. All right, so Kings, Celtics, Pacers, Hornets. Hornets have another pick. Jazz have 3 picks. God damn, Danny Ainge, the scammer them there. Scammer them there. Yeah, that's it. It's only those only people tweeting tonight. It's kind of sad. Like I can't remember a night where, the tweets have been this slow. Was this mandated? Was this some Adam Silver shit? Because I don't feel like it's been that way in years past. But the fact that Dame's mouthpiece is quiet, that's the one tonight. When the insiders don't inside, then what's your relevance? Greg, how about my guy with Jordan Hawkins to the Pels? We like that pick. We like that pick. It's a good pick for them. He fits in well. It's just we don't know what that roster is going to look like. And that's kind of the problem with the Pels, because there's a lot of things in flux. He fits well with Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. But it's just a matter of, what's that roster going to look like? Clearly, as of right now, it doesn't appear to be any huge trades on the horizon. That can change in the next 48 hours. But if nothing happens and they stand pat and they just ride it out, assuming they do next to little tinkering at free agency, I'm not sure where his minutes are going to come. His minutes are not going to come from CJ. His minutes are not going to come from Young Reaper, aka Brandon Ingram. Herb Jones is not giving up no minutes, nor should he have to. Trey Murphy's not giving up no minutes. So yes, I don't know where his minutes are going to come from, G. He can go, though. He's a player. He's a hooper. I just don't know where his minutes are going to come from. Untamed. Okay, I think Boston getting Smith now. Zach took Olivier. Sacramento is selecting Olivier Prosper at 24 and trading him to Dallas. Okay. Okay. We all getting it. We all getting the info in real time. I like it. For Rashawn Holmes? So Dwight Powell's got to be out of there now, man. Shit, they got Rashawn Holmes, and they just drafted Lively or Likely or whatever. Like, yeah, it's over for Dwight Powell. Greg chiming in. Hurley called him the most unique shooter he's seen in the draft in a while. Yeah, unique could have a lot of uses. Unique has a lot of uses. I mean, he's not wrong. But sometimes unique cannot mean good. We'll see, though. Oh, here come Woj. Okay, here come Woj. Wait, so they're using that $17 million on Rashawn Holmes, Mavs, man? They're using that trade exception for fucking Rashawn Holmes? Nasty. I don't like that. I don't like that. The Bucks are acquiring the number 36 pick in a deal with the Orlando Magic. Outside of that, the Kings are sending Rashawn Holmes into the traded player exception created with the OKC trade. And Mavs man in all caps, so you know he's yelling, "Please God, get Dwight Powell off my basketball team." That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, that one's going to be rough. All right, so we are all the way. So then the Celtics are on the clock. So we'll get Untamed, Untamed's live reaction. If he's rocking with the picks or not. Point guard could be the play here. Derby Cash, please do something. I mean, they tried with Jared Allen, right? They tried to flip Jared Allen. Oh, Mavs man, would you have took Jared Allen for the mid-level exemption instead of Rashawn Holmes? Man, it's Colby. That's funny. Derby is wilding. I mean, and the thing is, y'all pick would be coming up, but it's going to the Pacers. Marcus Sasser? Bruh. Is that where y'all went? Bro, I'm going to have to scroll to find him. He's a point guard. Let's see if they got his highlights. Let's see what is. Oh, he traded to Detroit for the first pick of the second round. I don't know, Untamed. What do you? Oh man, that one's a rough one, bro. I mean, not that y'all should be like focusing crazy on the draft, but to just trade somebody just to get an extra pick. So now that gives y'all, yeah, you had the first pick of the second round now. So you're trading back 6 spots. Yeah, so you're trading back 6 spots. Abs mine. Jared Allen was my center of choice, but probably would have needed to add Future first. Yeah, and you probably don't want to do that. I wouldn't have done that. So maybe, yeah, you take the lesser player because you don't have to mortgage your future. I guess. Let's see. Did that wake Woj up? Woj gave us a little something for like a few minutes. The Pistons are acquiring 25 from the Celtics. Okay. Yeah, we peeped that already. NBA Central. Nope, they're not really tweeting either. Legion Hoops. Yeah, this is not the most enticing photo to draft Grady Dick, but he can hoop. Untainted, there might be something in it too. Okay. We got something going on here. Boston is drafting. Yeah, okay. So we saw that already. Okay. Detroit really about to get Ohio State guy. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out who that is. There's a lot of Sensaba. Let's see if that happens. Like at this point in the draft, these teams should not be taking up all they got their time, bro. Like, no bombs, Woj. So we get 31 in the trade. Yeah, we already knew that. You're late tonight. Woj is late tonight, man. Shams is killing it. All right. So since Greg gave y'all the question of what was y'all favorite pick, what's been the worst pick so far? Y'all let me know in the chat. What's been the worst pick? Let me see. Let me update my little. Let me refresh this page. Then I can maybe see who's been the worst pick tonight. I'm gonna go Jaime Jaquez with the Heat for me because he can't shoot. So now maybe Heat culture, maybe they coach him up and all that bullshit. But for a team that really stunk it up in the regular season, shooting the 3-ball and got on a heater in the playoffs and rode that heater all the way to the finals, the real Heat team is not the team you saw in the playoffs. The real Heat team in terms of shooting the 3-ball was the team for the regular season. So Jaime does not go a long way to fixing that. So I found that to be a little weird. But, he'll get the benefit of the doubt because of Heat culture and all that bullshit. But I don't really see what need he fills with the 18th pick. Again, it's the 18th pick, so whatever. But in terms of worst pick so far, I'm going to go with the Miami Heat at 18 with Jaime out there from UCLA. Y'all let me know in the chat what's been the worst pick. It seems like a weird, slow-moving draft. Yeah, it really has been, G. And I think this has been the saving grace, to be quite honest with you, is the stadium feed. Because this stadium feed has been mostly ahead of the broadcast. And Shams has been way more proactive in breaking stuff, whether it's trades or whatever. So, I think even though it's been a slow draft and a weird draft and lacking that huge blockbuster trade that was insinuated for like the last damn near month, the This feed's been pretty solid. Untamed. So Boston got 2 future second rounders. Man, they're just collecting all the picks. The boy genius learned from. He's just going to amass all the picks. Future first for Marcus Smart. 2 future firsts for Marcus Smart. 2 more future seconds in this deal to move back 6 spots. Okay. Dre agrees with me. Okay. He'd had the worst pick. Could have gotten him later in the draft. Yeah, that was a weird one, man. Like, just not sure what the thought process is. I mean, every team will tell you, oh, this was the guy we had at the top of our board, yada, yada, yada. They'll tell you all that bullshit for the next couple of days, but I don't get that fit at all. I mentioned Imani earlier, Dre. Where will Imani Bates go? I don't know where, but we definitely know it's going to be second round, right? Like we know it's going to be second round. Where does this have him? This had him going towards the bottom, right? This had him going to the T-Wolves in the 50s. I don't know where he should go. I mean, that's kind of a hard question to answer just because, like, I can say where I think he should go, but I like, despite all these weaknesses compared to strengths, I like Imani's game. It's just I think he would be better off not being drafted, to be honest with you. I think Imani Bates would be better as like a 2-way player. He needs to not be drafted. I think he needs to pick where he feels he could be used properly. I don't know if I trust the NBA to pick him in the right team with the right situation. I don't know if I trust the NBA. Ben Shepherd at 26? Oh, Big Ben. Big Ben at 26. I told y'all he was my sleeper. I swore he was going to be second round. Wow. That's a really interesting pick. Hold up now. See, they had Ben going, top 10 of the second round. Ben, you see it here. He can score it. I like Ben Shepherd's game a lot. They project him to shoot 36% from 3. He shot 42% in college. Effective field goal percentage is nice. True shooting is really nice. He can shoot the rock, bro. He is a bucket. He's a dead-eye shooter. And Indiana, if they don't trick that off, again, it's Indiana, so I get it. But they still got Miles Turner. They got a real point guard in Tyrese Halliburton. They got Jermaine Mathurin. Still got Miles Turner for now. You add in, like, if you double Miles Turner, you kick it out, you got Halliburton and my man's Ben Shepherd with Buddy Hield. There's a lot of shooters on the floor, bro. I mean, I don't know if Buddy Hield will still be there. But if not, we can even put Benedict there. Benedict, Halliburton in the backcourt. You can even go small ball with Ben Shepherd in there, too. You could go 3 guards there. And then you got Miles Turner anchoring that middle. Now they just need a wing. If you like Nesmith, sure. I'm not that big on him, but he could fill the role for now. But the Pacers could be a wing away from having a little something cooking in the bottom of the East. Let's see. Probably means Hero Duncan might get traded for Dame. I mean, but that's been the deal. That's been the deal. I don't do that deal if I'm Portland. That's not nearly enough, in my opinion. That's not nearly enough. G, I didn't hear your take on the point fraud heading to Golden State. What do you think about trading away the Splash Cousin? Yeah, the Splash Cousin, you know, that was extortion. Them giving him that contract was extortion for, you know, catching that one hit a quitter from the habitual nut hitter. It was a bad contract then. It was an even worse contract after seeing his performance this year in the regular season into the playoffs. It's a really weird move. The point fraud is going to be coming off the bench most likely. You'll still have the Splash Brothers being the starting backcourt, but I think you will see games where the point fraud is closing out games. And how does that look? Who's not going to play? You're going to run a three guard lineup? Up there. There's your guy, Nick Smith, Untamed. Nick Smith to Charlotte. If you're going to go there, right? If you're going to go with the point fraud closing out games, obviously you're going to have Steph. Do you bench Clay? Do you bench A. Wiggins? Do you bench Looney and go super small? You could go Steph, Clay, point fraud, Wiggins, habitual nut hitter. Right? That's 5 guys. Yeah. That's small ball, positionless basketball, blah, 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 all that bullshit. But I think it's a weird move. It's not, it doesn't really mean anything, to be quite honest with you. It's just, you know, it's just a name going to a team like Bradley Beal going to the Suns. I don't see too much in it. Untamed Music, who's the best distributor and general left? Let's see. Compare prospects. Big board. Point guards. Okay. Sasser left, right? So we got Pickett. Based off the ones that I can say I've actually seen play, I don't know who this Paris dude is. I've seen Pickett play a little bit. He's okay. I don't know about facilitator. Sensabaugh to Utah. Okay. Fuck. Is it really Isaiah? I don't know, man. This Slim Pickens down here at the bottom, bro. In terms of guards, I guess I'm going to just say Pickett by default. I think Pickett, but he's old. He's like almost 24. So, I mean, that could be good for a team like the Celtics, like your Celtics who are trying to win now. I don't know how much better he is than Peyton Pritchard right now, though. He might be taking the same type of dude. Let's get back to see what we got going on here. There we go with Utah and Sensabaugh. Dre, at this point, Wiggins is the second best player on the Warriors. Wiggins needs to be a main factor next year. It needs to be needs a bigger contract, to be honest. Dre, are you Andrew Wiggins' burner account or what? Like, I don't know if you're being, you know what I'm saying? Like, sounds like you're on that A Wiggins burner right now. I mean, I think I said it last year on the pod. I think Wiggins should have been Finals MVP last year. I know he was never going to win it, but I think he was a difference. But yeah, nah, dogs. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's A Wiggins, bro. All right, let's see what else we got here. Looking rough on the list. Yeah, bro. Like that. I think Pickett's the only one, man. I think he might be the last dude left that I can say I've actually seen play, so I could give you a semblance of what they could be. Like Isaiah Wong, I've seen in highlights. Like Miami made that run to the Final Four or whatever, so I've seen Wong. I have not seen this Paris dude, TCU. I was not watching no TCU basketball. Kansas State, I was not. I mean, he's 5'8", so yeah, I think Pickett might be your last chance at having like a legit point guard. Untamed, maybe Boston just takes a power forward knowing full well that our bigs are injury prone. That wouldn't be the dumbest move. That would not be the dumbest move. Sensaba. All right, refresh this. Okay, Charlotte on the clock. 3 more picks after that. Ben Shepherd to the Pacers. That's a sneaky pick, yo. Low-key, he would have been nice in Charlotte, yo. Ben Shepherd with LaMelo? Does anyone know what's going on with Book Knight? Has there been any real reporting on what's going on with Book Knight? I feel like that story just kind of came and went, and we're just kind of just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, and Book Knight is just kind of, let me see, is he tweeting tonight? When's the last time he tweeted? Oh, he hasn't tweeted in a minute. He's been offline. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with your man's Book Knight, but like, if he can ever figure it out, off and on the court, you pair him with LaMelo and now Brandon Miller and whoever they take, and if they could have gotten Ben Shepherd as a dead-eye shooter. Okay, Julian Strother at 29. Damn, wait, so... Oh, damn, we missing some picks. Okay, thank you, Untamed, for catching me up here. Okay, yeah, we had that. Wait a minute, so why was I... Okay, my bad, that's my bad. I don't know why I thought Charlotte was still on the clock. I didn't refresh the page. Okay. All right, so we got Denver. So now we're on the last pick, right? This is 30. Yeah, NBA didn't refresh their shit. Okay, now let me refresh it again. Okay, now we go. And then Indiana. So Denver traded with Indiana. Okay, so we'll just ignore the Indiana part, but Denver's already taken, so that means the Clippers are going to finish us off here in this first round of the NBA draft. So we did the NFL draft early this year. That was really fun. It's a lot of shit talking that night. There was a lot of trades and this team moving up, this team moving back, this team reaching. Man, it's Chris Haynes still ain't unlocked that phone, bro. But this one little different, but still enjoyable. We still had some fun with it. So I'm glad that we were able to do this. I'm glad that y'all stayed with me here, locking it down. We had the homie Greg Larner pull up here from ESPN Radio out there in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Support him and lock in on his content. He's doing good shit out there. And I'm not just saying that because he has me on this show every week, but he's just a good dude. So support to him. And also Mavs, man, he does content here. Scrub Zero does content here. All of y'all who do content here, we all help each other, man. Let's help build each other up. Support each other's content. Yeah, G, I don't know what is going on with your guy Bug Knight. He's got some things to figure out off the court, and it's kind of bleeding into on the court. So if he could get that figured out, him and LaMelo should be crazy. Struther look like he can really, wow, that shot. How is he going to get that shot off at the next level? Yo, these dudes be pulling. I ain't gonna hold you. Like these dudes, these youngins, they be fucking chucking, boy. God damn. All right. Minnie and San Antonio made a pick trade. Okay, let's get to refreshing. Okay, maybe it's Woj. Who got it? Who got it? He's doing the broadcast, right? Okay, there we go. Timberwolves are sending the Spurs 2 future second round picks. Minnesota's traded the 33rd pick. Oh, so that's for, okay, yeah. I will not be here for that. It's the second round, baby. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and get this 30th pick. It really is, though, Untamed. It really is the era of chuckers. It's weird sometimes, like, and I'm not trying to be one of those old dudes that don't want to see dudes shoot. I'm all about it. I was a chucker in my day. I was a point guard first, and then as I grew out of being a point guard, I then began to be more of a shooter. So I know what it is to transition from, all right, I'm trying to get everybody involved to, man, fuck this, I'm putting it up. Like, I know what it is, but it's just weird to see these youngins come down off the bounce. It's not even like dribbling into get shot. Like, that's how I was accustomed to. These kids are coming in off the bounce, yanking from 30 feet. It's crazy. And I'll keep saying it. Steph Curry ruined basketball with that shit just because he could do it. And they try to sell that hard luck story about Steph being undersized and, oh, his dad's alma mater wouldn't offer him a scholarship and all that bullshit. Now we got motherfuckers pulling from half court in fucking AAU ball travel teams at like 14 years old. Thanks, Steph. All right, are we getting this 30th pick or not? Let's see, the NBA got it. All right, they still don't got the Indiana jet. Okay, they finally got that. They still got Indiana there. Clippers out here. The Clippers need what? They need a point guard, but ain't no good ones left unless they go pick it. They got a big in Zubac. They could use a 4. They could use a 4. Jackson Davis still available. Nobody gonna take your man's from Gonzaga? All right, let's see what we got here. Sham's gonna finish this or not? Sham's working hard on that laptop, boy. He working hard on that laptop. Putting that pressure on Woj. One last check of Chris Haynes. Let's refresh. Yo, Chris Haynes, man. Come on, man. Chris Haynes. Chris Haynes, big wildin'. Chris Haynes, man. All right, let's see. Close that window. Close that out. All right, where's Shams? Clippers fucking Ballmer and Lawrence Frank taking this goddamn long. Okay, there's something. Kobe Brown. All right. Kobe Brown. That is the end of the first round. We'll do one quick little look on your man's Kobe Brown, and then we will wrap this puppy up. Damn, Kobe Brown was projected to be a second-round pick. Clippers take him at the end of the first. Big man. Well, didn't they just trade Marcus Morris? This looks to be a Marcus Morris replacement. He is almost 23 and a half years old. Older fella. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about him, but doesn't project to be too much. Just a big body. Any highlights? Nope. All right. I won't keep y'all any longer. This has been a 3-hour extravaganza. Appreciate y'all so much. I'll do one quick last refresh of Woj. As of right now, Damian Lillard, it's still a Portland Trailblazer. We'll see if that's the case by the time I holla at y'all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Timeline T. Any crazy Scoot quotes? Nope. Legion Hoops, they got anything? Nope. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. If you haven't subscribed, hopefully I gave y'all a reason to subscribe. Appreciate y'all hitting that like button. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me the whole way. If you're going to do that second round, salute to y'all. Your boy going to catch some Z's. Did a lot of talking today. I think I did. It was about 5 hours of streaming today. Yeah, your boy is going to go ahead and take it down to the bed. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow for another edition of Timeline T, 4 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up.